And we're live. Are we up yet? Not quite.
Hello.
Yep.
I'm
Hi,
looking at the other.
everybody.
Hi.
Hi,
Happy
y'all.
Hi, everyone.
Channel-versary, Shari.
Are we showing up
No.
yet? Up there we are.
Yep.
Okay.
Now we're there. Oh, okay.
Now we're
Yeah, it
there.
just popped down.
I
Yeah.
see you, Dolly. As soon as I get room, I'll bring you on. Okay, she's cool. Thank y'all for coming to my first Channel-versary. I am beyond excited. I can't believe it's been a whole year since I decided to step out of my comfort zone and do this. And thank all of you because all of you have had a part in helping me learn and with guidance, with friendship, with just watching your channel and learning that way, responding on the community tabs. Sheila posts these great things up on her community tab and then says, "Tell me what you see." And in the beginning, I was so intimidated, I was scared to look at it because I was like, I don't know how to do that. But then I started looking and I was like, okay, I started realizing, yeah, okay, I do know what that means, I think.
Good.
And so I started responding. And it just takes that willingness to step out. Mandy's here from across the pond. It's midnight where she is. She
Wow.
stayed up
It
late.
is.
So that's what you call a real friend.
She's a night
No,
owl.
I didn't go.
Somebody
I
that
didn't
stays
go
up
on
late.
this afternoon, so it was a late one last night. I was watching Jay.
There you go.
He asked me to come up, and I was like, no, sorry, I can't. Too late.
There you go. And then we have the beautiful Angela below me, who everybody knows is Cardamancy Mesquite, who gave me my first two tarot decks when I first
That's
started
awesome.
expressing an interest in chat. And she was like, "Give me your address."
Yep.
She sent me a couple of decks. I still use them weekly. I mean, I love them. I love both decks, especially the basic tarot deck. It fits in my hands. I can actually shuffle them right, and so that's nice. And the
Yeah, I've
wonderful
got them to
Isaac,
fit in my hands as well.
who is here, who I had the pleasure of meeting through Sonia and EQ on the Soul Sisters. And
Oh, when you tell those soul sisters that I want to come on their channel as a guest.
okay, well, EQ's in the waiting room, so EQ, did you hear that?
I adore them.
Sheila's waiting for an invite. And then we have the lovely Heather, who is here, who's still showing her old
Yeah, I forgot
name,
to fix it. So
not
easy
the
to,
new
but
name.
yeah.
What
I
is your
gotta know how
new?
to do that. It's
You changed it.
Indigo Jaguar Intuitive Arts because
Okay,
I also am an
Indigo
artist,
Jaguar
so
Intuitive
I wanted
Arts.
to put everything into intuitive arts all the time. So
Very
it's all
cool.
inclusive, so yeah.
And because I have free StreamYard, I'm limited to only 6 people at a time. So
All right.
Yeah.
everybody has graciously offered to hop off when we get people built up to come on. But I want to give everybody a couple of minutes on air before everybody just says, okay, enough of this, I'm going to bed and leaves. So without no hard feelings for it. If I start getting too growly and you can't understand me, tell me to take a drink in the
Sip, sip.
chat so that I remind me take a sip. So I'm not so bad. Thank all of you so very much. I am just beyond humbled
Well, thank you for
and
inviting me.
beyond touched that what
Shari,
started
have you
out.
tried this?
I'm
Yeah.
gonna boo-hoo here for a minute, but what started out as a desperate act trying to heal
It's
from my mom passing, COVID hitting, kind of everything kind of hit all at once. And it was really difficult. And I went online just to try to find something to take up time to try to bring my spirits back up. And I came across, as I've said before, Diane from Diane's Tarot. And I didn't know such a thing even existed. And I started
Really?
watching her a couple of times. And then the lovely Sheila popped up on my feed. And I went watched her, and the first vid I watched of her, that was it. I was sunk hook, line, and sinker. I was like, okay, wow, this woman's amazing. I mean, you knocked my socks off. And I've been a following you ever since. And then from there, that led me to Linda G, who
I think I've
knocks
seen that
everybody's
before,
socks
Maddie.
off,
Yeah,
you
that's how
know.
I came first,
I've
Marie.
seen it
And I
before.
don't remember who came next after that. Just was like one after another after another. And a lot of you I met through uh, Lisa and Sharon when they had Nasty Woman Tarot.
Yep.
And that's the first time I started chatting in the chat was on that show. And
Oh, it must have been that one then.
Lisa was the first one to make me a moderator. And I was like, what the hell does a moderator do? I don't know.
Yeah.
She's like, just talk to
I
Ron.
did
He'll
that when
explain it to
Sheila
you.
made me a
And I said,
moderator.
okay.
I don't know how to do that.
Yeah, I didn't even know what it was.
Yeah.
And
No, I still don't.
The sea of blue now.
so uh, it's telling me someone's trying to enter, but your studio is full.
Okay.
I know. It's trying to get me to upgrade. I don't have the money right now, so I'll have to wait.
Well,
You'll
Sheila,
have
I
to
mean, not
wait.
Sheila, Sherry, I, celebrated with you on my channel last night when we did our live. And I've been here with you for 15 minutes already before going on. So let me leave. Let me have you bring somebody on. And congrats, girl.
Thank
Love
you
ya.
very much. Thank you, Heather.
Nice meeting you, Heather.
Bye,
Same
girl.
here, Sheila.
Good
Hi,
seeing you, Heather.
Sheila. Bye, Mandy. I got to find out
Bye,
how you're
darling.
doing with your singing gig. So we'll talk soon.
Okay.
And now we have the lovely Dolly who's here
Skull!
Already.
with all of her wolf stuff.
I am all full Viking for you tonight.
Woo!
Got all my Viking going on here tonight for you.
There you
Skull.
go. We'll see. You got the Celtic with me, so that Irish Scots blood starts coming out, and then the
Celtic
Cherokee
voices.
shows up. So. Well, thank you for coming, Dolly. I appreciate it. I love your little morning reads and
My cards of the day.
your cards of the day, and I'm really enjoying your weekly shadow. It's like 5 minutes or less, and she's doing a thing on shadow work. On Friday, she drops it on Friday. Last weekend we were going to do a show to go over it and talk about it because
We'll still do that. We'll still.
And
I had COVID.
poor Dolly got sick, so we couldn't do it. So we're going to reschedule soon. And
frickin' COVID.
Yeah, I know. I got it on my birthday. It was like, oh boy, happy birthday to me. And I still got a little single serve bottle of champagne in the fridge that I bought for my birthday that I didn't drink because I was too sick. So, and
you could drink it tonight.
I plan on drinking it tomorrow.
Chug.
I plan on drinking it tomorrow because I've got a coupon for steak dinner at Outback. So I'm going to order my steak dinner and drink my champagne, and I'm going to do that tomorrow. So, and because I didn't want to eat in front of everybody. So, and so I don't know if it's going to let me add anybody else or not. I'm going to try. We'll see what happens. No, only 6. Okay, it's telling me. I'm sorry, y'all. I'll get to you as soon as I can. And so
I can drop down. I just wanted to come on and say congratulations.
Yeah.
Keep doing what you do.
Because
shine your light. Keep shining your light.
Yes.
We need that in this world right now. Our world is so dark right now.
Yeah.
We need everyone to be light workers. So everyone keep shining your light.
Yeah.
And I'm a proud moon dancer too. So let's keep doing it.
We all dance on the moon now. So
that's right.
Yeah.
That's right.
Thank you for popping in, Dolly, very much. I love you, darling.
All right.
And
bye. Nice to meet you.
I'll be nice to meet you too. I'll be in the chat, you guys.
Okay, cool.
Nice to meet you.
Yes. I can drop out and go into the chat as well.
Okay, well, thank you, Isaac, for coming. I'm so blessed
Yeah,
that
I
you
just wanted
were
to say
able to
hello.
come on. Hi, EQ.
Hi, EQ.
Hey,
Hey, Isaac. Hey,
Hi.
Sheila.
Hi, Q.
Hey,
When are you gonna
guys.
invite me onto your channel there, EQ?
Whenever you'd like. We always thought that you were working whenever we went live. So it was like, oh my gosh, it's not
Well,
going to
yeah,
work for
but I've
her.
retired, so
She's one of the
I have,
lucky ones.
Okay.
yeah, I have retired, so I can go do whatever I want,
Yay.
anytime I want.
you
Sounds
don't
There
good.
you
even know
go.
how to retire.
I
Super,
got
super.
6 more years to go before I get to that point.
Well, we will be in contact with you, Sheila, definitely. We'll
Oh,
get some
that would be
set up.
fantastic. I would love to. I would love. I like inviting myself. Apparently,
Hey, it worked for me. That's how I
I'm
got on
famous.
several people's show. I was being chat and go, uh, how come I haven't been invited to come on yet?
I'll email somebody. Hey, can I go live on the channel with you?
Yep, there you go.
That's it.
Well,
Oh,
Shari,
goodness.
again, I want to say congratulations to you.
Thank
1 year.
you.
That's awesome. Time flies.
I'm telling you, it
Just
just like
crazy.
went right by. I was like, I can't believe it's been a
Yes.
year.
Yeah.
And,
Yeah, I know. It was my year last week, and I only found out from a GoFootball treatment.
that's right. Mandy just hit a year last week.
Wow, congratulations.
She was on Jay's channel during the day, so I snuck out at work and went hid behind the
Came on
building and
with
popped
us.
on real quick for like 10 minutes.
I like
I
that.
like that.
I literally was like in the bushes up in the corner in the building
He
where no
was
one
having a
could see
play in the
me.
bushes.
That and I was smoking a cigarette too. Yeah, but
Oh,
it's
Yeah.
everybody knows it's my one bad habit that I still have. I haven't been able to get rid of that one yet. So I'm working on it one day at a time.
exactly.
And
Congratulations, Sherry.
thank you, thank you very much,
Yeah.
very much. I got people cooling their heels.
Yep. Yep. You guys listen to what Jackie just wrote. Please hit the thumbs up button.
Yes, please,
Like
please,
and
please.
subscribe, please.
And all of these lovely people you see on
Yeah, like
here,
and
go to
subscribe.
their channels, like and subscribe to their channels. You got the Soul Sisters. You've also got EQ's channel, which is Blue Lotus Wisdom.
Wisdom of the Blue Lotus.
Okay, I had the right words, just in the wrong order.
Yep.
Sonia will be on shortly. Sonia Rain Lee. Ivana Intuitive. Ivana will be here in a few minutes. And I don't even know who all else is over there.
Sherry, should I just leave and then someone else
Just
can
click
come up?
on Leave Studio and you'll be good.
Okay, got it. Take care, everybody. Bye-bye.
Bye, Isaac.
And I'll keep
Thank
watching.
you.
Oh.
And Ivana.
Hey,
There you
how
are.
you?
Hey.
I keep waving. I'm like doing everything as if I'm on camera, like for the last 10 minutes.
I lost EQ. Where did you go?
Hi, Sonia.
Oh, hi, Sonia. Did y'all
Hey,
switch?
Sonia.
Yeah, we switched Soul Sisters. There you go.
Okay. Sheila's already hit up EQ,
Hiya.
and she
I
wants
know.
on
I
the
was like,
show.
what? Why?
Yes, whenever you're ready. Absolutely, for sure. I need two lines here. I need Sonia Rain Lane, and then I need the Soul Sisters tarot right underneath.
There you go. There you go. Y'all pardon me. My eyes are tearing.
Oh,
They're not tears yet. They're
congratulations,
just,
Sherry.
I just had to, doctor just prescribed prescription drops because my eyes are getting too dry or something like that. And it makes them tear up, which overproduces tears, which makes them more dry. I don't understand that circular logic, but there you go. Thank you, Tanya, for coming. I so appreciate it.
Yes, I'm like, I'm not going to stay too long because I have been moving and my daughter went back to college this past week, and I've been caught up in traveling, and then I had to move some stuff from my office to home today, so I'm exhausted. But I do want to be on here to wish you well.
Thank you so very much. You and EQ were the first. You were the first ones to invite me to come read on your show, and I was just floored. I was like, "You want me?" I couldn't believe it, and that kind of helped give me that courage to, okay, I can do this. So thank you for that, for
Oh,
helping
you're
me
so welcome.
step out of my comfort zone and into the spotlight. I'm still trying to get used to it, so
Well,
it
we need
means
to
the
hear
world.
that voice from the swamp. So
So
we're just happy that you came out and you're sharing your light. It's beautiful.
I'm trying. I'm doing the best I can. I still work full time, so I'm very limited on when I can show up. But I'm here. I'm
Yeah.
your girl. If you need a guest, just give me a holler.
We'll
I'll
do.
try to work it out some kind of way. And oh my goodness, I don't. I feel like I'm out of words to say to everyone. So
Oh
just
dear.
Well, all I have to say is when I first started getting into chats and that, I would say, "Hi, everybody," and like, "What am I doing?" And somebody named Shari H would be like, "Hi, Ivana, how are you?" And I'm like, "Oh my
Yes.
god!" So you gave me my start, no doubt. You and a couple other people, no doubt. Kelly from Dozen Cash and
yep.
Ron. So you know, it was always nice to see you in the chat wherever because I always knew I'd get somebody to say hi.
And I love yours. I have my little run up in the mornings. I listen to Dolly. I listen to you. I listen to Ona, Ona's Tarot,
Mhm.
and Kelly has a dozen cat
Yes.
has a morning, and so that's my little lineup in the morning as I'm getting dressed and getting ready to go out the door for work. I've got you four. It's like boom, 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 boom. Oh, and Manasa as
Thank you.
well.
Thank
And
you. I appreciate that.
and so y'all are the ones I'm listening to as I'm getting ready to run out the door and get to work. And so that means a lot to me. I know a lot of people watch y'all. Anybody out there, if you've not subscribed to any of these lovely people's channels, please go to their channels and subscribe. You will get wonderful things. They're all very talented, and uh, and we're very lucky to have them and have them willing to step out and share themselves with us. So, um,
I didn't get until like 9:15 tonight. I've been in the studio all day, so got in, had
that's
a
it.
bath, and getting to eat, whistling past, and then, yeah. But I'll pop off in a minute if you want because it's really, really fuzzy.
Yeah,
And
I got several people waiting. So,
Okay. I'm
yeah,
gonna hop off
everybody,
as well.
I
oh,
can't
thank
hear
you
you
so much,
anyway.
Sonia.
Probably.
Yes, you're so welcome.
Thank
Keep
you,
doing what you're
man.
doing. Blessings to you. All right.
Love
Bye,
y'all.
everyone.
And I'm ready to come back on your show anytime.
Yeah.
And Michelle, hey,
Hi, Shari.
as she's
Hi.
patiently waited in the backstage
Hi,
area.
Michelle.
Hi.
I've seen you in the chat, but I don't think I've seen you live yet.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I typically go live with Jay, so I
Oh,
haven't
okay.
done live
Yes,
on my
she
own
popped
channel
on
yet.
Oh,
with
did you get
Jay.
on with him? Did
Yeah,
you?
I'm gonna go on with him
Yeah, I
tonight,
couldn't make
actually.
it.
Oh, nice.
Very good, very
And
good.
I went live with Ron. I think my second time that I ever went live. So.
Yeah.
Yeah, Shari, you were one of the first people that I watched live when I first joined the community. And I
Oh,
remember
cool.
at the time I was going through some like issues with relationships and stuff. And your advice really helped so much. And in that moment, you said
You.
exactly what I needed to say, what I needed to hear. So I just wanted to say thank you for that.
Oh, you're welcome. I just, I just,
Mm.
I just say what spirit tells me to say. It's weird. It's like as I've gotten more into this, I'm starting to hear those voices. So again, I heard them when I
Yeah.
was a child, and then they kind of shut up for a long time, and now they're starting to talk to me again. So it's very
Well, that's
exciting.
Yep. Well, Shari, I heard your
It is,
story
isn't it?
on
It's brilliant.
Gertrude's channel, and it's very fascinating. Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you. Yeah, I've had some experiences in my life, and I've only told a very little bit. So I could
Yeah.
probably
Well,
do a whole show just on the life of me, but everybody would get bored and turn the channel. So like, okay, no, enough of that. Um, but
I've
thank
had a
y'all very
very
much.
interesting life as well. Mhm.
That's it. That's it.
Yeah.
And we all have. I mean,
You have to,
Sheila's
don't
had
you, to learn and
a
live and
wonderful
learn.
life, and
You know?
Angela's had a great life, and we've all. Um, it's just. I don't know. Sometimes I'm speechless. I don't know what to say. This is really overwhelming for me. So
yeah.
y'all can talk and fill up the airwaves.
Well, we love you, Sherry. We really do. I always
Well,
love
thank
watching you go
you.
live.
Thank you
Yeah.
very much.
You're welcome.
Sherry, I think I'm going to scoot. I had my second booster on Thursday, and I'm
Oh,
starting to fade already.
oh yeah. Go get some rest. The boosters really whacked me hard, and I still got COVID. So go
Oh
figure.
no.
And
Okay, well, thank you, and congratulations. I'm so happy for you. I feel like it was a great investment sending you two decks. I just,
I that was the first step that floored me. It was like this total stranger just sent me two decks of cards. Why is he doing this?
just
And
because you needed them.
yeah.
Yeah,
That was the
Thank
only
you so
reason.
much.
You're welcome.
Love you, my dear.
Bye. Love you too.
Bye.
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 And now I have the lovely Kevin,
Oh, Kevin.
Kevin.
Hi.
Hi,
who
Hi,
we've been
Shari.
trying to get a date set to do a show together, and I finally roped him in here. So
Hi, ladies. Nice to see
That's
Hi.
the
everyone.
first medium I
And
ever watched live.
Yeah.
I watched his very first live. It was awesome.
Thank you. Shari, congratulations on your
thank
year,
you, sir,
on your
very much.
channel-versary. Wonderful. I know your mom is applauding you, cheering you
Thank
on
you.
every step of the way. And it
I
takes
definitely
something. It
feel
takes
it.
somebody to step in it. So I'm just so proud of you. And it just
You've done some great
be.
readings for me and given me
Uh,
some really good advice. So
well,
um,
you do that for you do that for so many people. So it takes. Yeah, this is about you. The spotlight's on you, and so
oh,
oh,
kicked.
Oh, he's back.
here.
Oh.
I don't know. It's just like all of a sudden you disappeared. It's like, oh, where'd he go?
It's like that. What's that thing when you're on stage and then somebody does the cane or something?
Oh,
That
yeah.
was like a cane moment. But thank you. As I was saying, thank you so much for having me, and congratulations for 1 year. I mean, that
Thank
takes something.
you
So
very much.
Yeah.
Thank you very
amazing.
much.
Has your life
We got to
changed a
get our
lot in
date
this
set to
last
do a
year?
show. So,
We will. We sure will.
and I'm looking forward to that.
Shari, has your life changed a lot since you started the channel?
Yeah, in a lot of ways it has. In some ways it's gotten calmer, and in other ways it's gotten more hectic. So,
Mm.
Yeah, but don't you find you get to know yourself a lot
yeah,
better?
I've been able to really
Appreciate
kind of
yourself and
dig
stuff.
down into my own psyche. Like I was
Yeah.
saying earlier, I mean, when I stumbled onto this community, yeah, I'm convinced now it was spirit led because I wasn't looking for it.
Right.
I was just looking. I
It
was
came
in
to us
such a
for a
depressed
reason,
state
didn't it?
that,
You know?
yep,
Yeah.
spirit knew what I needed, and he was ready for me to get off my lazy behind and go to work. So and do what he meant for me to do. So there we have it.
Yeah. And
And
one thing leads to another. It's amazing. You know, because
yeah,
we're
I've
happy.
met
Doing
so
this
many
makes us
amazing
happy.
people.
You know? It's fulfilling, isn't it?
Very
You
much so.
think?
I've met so many amazing people from around the world that, I mean, it's kind of mind boggling when you think about it sometimes. All these people, and it's like, wow. I mean, I'm sitting here chatting to
Yeah.
somebody in Australia, or I'm talking to somebody in England, or I'm talking to somebody in South America
Yeah,
or something. It's just it kind of
yeah. I've
just
made friends with all of them. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's great.
yeah,
Yeah,
exactly,
yeah.
exactly.
It is. It's wonderful.
Well, not to be a rude host, but I got to boot a couple of you to get some more on.
I'm gonna go.
I got
Hey,
four people waiting.
I've been
okay.
out
I'll see you
all
later,
day,
Sherry.
so
Congratulations on your
Thank
first.
you, Ivana. Love you, girl.
Bye.
Bye, friends.
Whenever you're ready,
I'm
Sherry.
gonna go as well for you, darling. All right, so you can get someone else on.
Okay,
Okay.
thank you, Mandy, very much. You have a
Happy
lovely evening.
anniversary.
Thank you,
Bye,
I'll
ma'am.
see you
Mandy.
next time. Come and join me on with Jay, and
Bye,
then
Mandy.
we'll be able to hear each other. Yeah.
Oh yeah, you got
Okay.
it. We'll have a
Okay.
party.
All right.
Okay.
All right. Bye, Sheila. Bye, Kevin.
Bye.
Bye, Michelle.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye, everybody.
Bye.
And now we have the lovely Deb
Hi,
and her
Deb.
beautiful
Ah,
fur baby
Hi, Sherry.
and the
Hi,
beautiful
Kelly.
Kelly, who's here
Hi, Kelly.
finally.
Hello, hello, hello. Happy Channel-versary. Woohoo! I don't have any noisemakers. Sorry, that's the best I can do.
All right. I don't either.
Oh my goodness. Can you believe it? 1 year. I
I
feel
know.
like Sherry and I are like uh,
We
buddies
both
from.
stepped out about the same time, didn't
We
we?
did.
Yeah.
We did. We came out at the same time. Here we are.
Yep.
How do you like us
Yep.
now?
We were in the
Yeah.
closet together and out we
We
came.
were. I kept putting a question in the chat.
I'm sorry. I haven't really looked
No,
at
no,
the
no.
chat.
It's totally fine. It's totally fine. Who was your first live, Sherry?
My first live,
Mm-hmm.
that was on Lisa and Sharon's Nasty Women because
Right.
you came on too.
Right. So that was Lisa's birthday.
That
And
was that what it was? I don't remember what it was
Yep.
for, but
Yep.
she emailed me earlier and said, "I wish I could be here, but I'm moving." And I'm like, "No, don't worry about it." So,
Right. And did it not change your life like it did mine?
oh, absolutely,
I love that
absolutely.
we
'Cause
share that
I went
together.
on there and I was on for like 3, 4 minutes, and then I popped off because I had broke out in a cold sweat. I literally felt nauseous because
Aw.
all these people were looking at me, and I didn't know what to. I mean, I was just really intimidated. Y'all
Like
just
stage fright.
very much stage fright, and then it was about 2 weeks later that I got an email from EQ asking me if I would come on the Soul Sisters, and because Sonya was going to be out of town, and I was just blown away because I was talking about intimidation. I mean, I was like, "Yeah,
Was
I'll
that
be
around
there,
Christmas time that you were there?
ma'am."
Because was it around Christmas time that you were on with the Soul Sisters?
I think so. I think it was
Okay.
just before.
And was it and was I there? Because I'm pretty sure that we were on the
Yeah,
same
I think
show.
you were on too. I think you were on too that day. Because EQ had gotten several people to come on.
Yeah, and
While Sonya was out.
Pat
Pat
into
was on into a colored lens.
Yep.
Yep. Because she
So-
drew a picture for me.
yeah.
And then she scanned it and emailed it to me. I still have that saved. And every now and again I pull it out and look at it. It's very encouraging.
So I just think it's really interesting that we've sort of run similar paths, and honestly, I couldn't be prouder of you. I'm so excited for you. We've talked, behind the scenes. We've thrown cards for each other and stuff.
We've vented at each other. We've yelled at each other.
We've shared our nasty habit with each other behind the scenes.
Yep.
And, I think you're wonderful. I think you are so good for this community. You try to sort of embrace everybody and hold everyone's hands together. And we need people like that. We need the glue of the community. And you are the glue, I think.
Thank you.
You're very welcome, my friend.
Thank you. You're going to make me cry.
Oh, sorry. We also share
Not a bad cry, a good cry. But
no, I know. And we also share the mother element of what brought us to this community. And so
yeah.
I feel like we're
Exactly.
sort of, well, we're sisters, whether you like it or not. That's
Yeah,
all.
but we kind of we had a lot of common points that
Yeah.
were ticking off the same boxes about the same time we came along. So,
Yeah.
and so yeah, it's been one hell of a ride,
It has been. So I just
and I
wanted to
plan on being
move
it for as long as I can. So,
well, you're going to do fabulous. I have no concerns with that. You're going to just keep going up, 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 because we
thank you,
need
ma'am.
the voice. And don't anyone let her finish tonight without telling you the alligator story, because my friends, it is the best story I have ever heard, and I will never forget it for the entirety of my life. It is seriously the best thing. I'm going to say goodbye because I know you got lots of people trying to get on, and I'm going on with Ron and Tracy later on tonight. It was a pleasure.
Oh, okay.
I wish you the best of continued success, and
Thank you.
I'll have to get you on my channel soon again. Sheila, lovely to see you. Michelle, nice to meet you.
Nice
You're
to
in my
meet you,
chat
Billy.
all the time, and it's nice to see you in person. Kevin, the healing
You
medium,
too.
sharing the screen with him. This is a very cool moment. My fellow Canadian, shout out.
Woo!
And right? Hey, we got tonight when we go on with with Ron, we have 3 Canadians doing readings.
It's an all Canadian night on Ron's channel tonight.
Yeah.
Very
We're all about
cool.
the red and white. And Deb H. Purple Elephant, love you, my friend. And your puppy is absolutely adorable.
Isn't he precious?
Absolutely. So thank you for inviting me. Much success. I love you all. Mwah! Many blessings.
Bye, Kelly.
Bye,
Bye,
everybody.
Kelly.
I'm also going to leave Shari, but I just wanted to say truthfully, like I said, the very first live that I ever watched you do, that reading meant really a lot to me. I really needed to hear exactly what you said. And so I just want to thank you for that. And being new to this, new with my channel and stuff, being able to see people that have been doing it for a little while, it's very inspiring. And yeah, I would say thank you and congratulations. You're doing an awesome job. Whether you think you are or not, don't ever doubt
You're
yourself.
going to go well,
You're
too.
amazing. You seriously are. So bye,
Thank you,
everybody.
my dear.
Nice
Bye,
to meet
Michelle.
you.
Nice to meet you.
I'm actually I'm also popping off too. I've been here from the
Okay.
beginning. Kevin, I want to do a collaboration with you.
Sheila's cracking up
I
throat
am.
while she's on air here. She's pulling a Shari.
I would love to.
Networking. Oh yeah.
She's pulling a Shari.
I'm terrible at emailing people, but if you email me, I'll get back with you.
Sounds good.
It's nice meeting you, Purple Elephant, with the fur bubbies. If anybody knows, I love my dogs.
Yes.
I love my dog. Congratulations, Shari. A year, you have 30 more to go before you get the hang of this. I just thought.
Yo, gee.
That's good
And
advice.
now see what'll make my day is to be a guest on your show or you to come on my channel and to get Kevin to do the same. So
Lots of collabs.
Lots of collabs. I'm working on it since I'm only available weekends. It's like I'm trying to squeeze in as many as I can and still have enough time left to do laundry. So, that's life. Thank you so much, Sheila. I appreciate it.
Bye, Sheila.
Bye.
And hi, Deb H. Nice to meet you.
Hi, Kevin. It's nice to meet you too.
Okay,
I've seen
2
you
more
in the chat.
collabs that need to happen here. Debbie started our channel.
We're going to be busy.
Yeah, I'm telling you, man. I'm racking y'all up. Melinda is here. And
Hey,
Jay
guys.
is here.
What's up, Shari? Hi.
And Dean is here.
Hello, hello.
Thank you guys for coming. And
oh, you're welcome.
I appreciate it very much. And Melinda, you look hot.
Yeah, I just did a video.
You in the bog?
Out there in
Down in the holler, or you in the holler? You down in the holler?
Not yet. Man,
Not
I hope
yet.
to find a girl soon though.
So, I want to
What's
make
the
room
holler?
for other people too, Shari, but I want to congratulate you. I want to thank you for coming on my channel and
You're
being one of
welcome.
my early guests and coming twice.
Absolutely.
And you're always welcome to come back and keep on doing what you're doing because it works.
Thank you, ma'am, very much.
So
I'm getting there one step at a time. Love you too. Thank you.
I'll be in chat.
Okay. Bye, Deb. And now we got Scott.
Hey, Scott.
Oh, wow. See, I had all women. Now I've got almost all men. Just
the guys are outweighing the women. That's a
for once.
And I feel like I'm balanced, so I could go,
Oh, okay. Melinda's throwing in on y'all's team there, so.
Perfect.
Well, I was the mom and the dad, so
There you go.
I know how that is.
Well, hello, Herc and Dean.
Hey, what's up, Scott? What's up, Dean?
Hey, Scott.
Both and Kevin. Always nice to see you.
Hi, Jay.
Yeah.
I was hoping to catch jump on when Sheila was in because you were talking about getting over the nerves and going online. So Sheila and I started collabing so that you did it together.
Oh, there you go.
We started the Sunday coffee show and we basically got over the nerves together a couple years ago. So that was a good experience. Have someone with you and you just started to flow as you needed to, and you get over it. It's kind of like, like in high school when you gotta talk about your book report or whatever. You just do it and you get over it, and eventually you're proficient. So it's all good.
Exactly.
Hey there, Wolfgang. Gosh, I forget names so quickly.
I feel you, man. And good to see you.
I'm terrible with names, so faces I remember, names escape me. So it was like at work and stuff, everybody is honey, darling, boo, sweetie, sugar. They're used to it, In the beginning, they look at me funny, but
you could probably tell me your birthday, and I remember it quicker than your name.
Yeah.
Or the birth sign.
Or the birth sign. Or with me, the pets. I'll remember their animals' names, but not their names. It's like in the apartments here, you see all the dog walkers. It's like, oh, there's Bonnie and Clyde, two of the dogs. It took me a month later before I remembered what the owners' names were, So, but I remembered the dogs.
Very Shari, that's a great evolvement for yourself. You started out being a hurricane watcher to sharing your light. And that's,
well, you're the one that kind of pushed me there. So it was a year ago this weekend that we had a hurricane coming, Hurricane Ida, and Scott was on Sheila's Spirit Messenger. Is that the name now? Something like that.
Oh, Sheila. Yeah.
I'm sorry, Sheila. I keep forgetting what she changes her name to.
Feathery Angel Carol.
I don't know, something like that. We all know who she is.
Spirit Messenger. Yeah.
But you were on her show, and she spotted me in chat, and she was like, "Oh, Shari, that hurricane's coming. Are you in the path?" And I'm like, "Yeah, right now we are, but I'm thinking I'm going to do a video blog and just go outside like the crazy weatherman and show what the weather does every day so people can see what it's like as you prep for a hurricane."
I remember you were contemplating, Shari. And I remember saying to you, I said, "Girl, if I could do it, you could do it. Come on, anybody can do it if I can."
Yeah.
Just
Scott
don't
was
get
the one
caught
on
in
that show
and everything.
Scott was on that show that was like, "Oh, you have a channel?" And I'm like, "Yeah." And so he was like, "Everybody, stop what you're doing and go over and subscribe on Shari's channel." I went from 2 subscribers, me and my son, to like 40 subscribers in 15 minutes. And I was blown away. I was like, well, I guess I've got to follow through now.
There's
right now, I got to follow through.
Otherwise, you're going to lose them all.
That's it. Yeah. So thank you for that. That was that little push out the door.
All right. I'm going to go. I'm going to go so that the friend train can keep going. Congratulations, Shari. Nice to see everybody.
Love you,
We'll see you all in the chat or on the lives. Thank
Great.
you.
See you, Kevin.
Bye.
Bye, Kevin.
I just want to congratulate you, Sherry.
There we are.
Thank you, Jay. Oh, Ron's here.
What's up, Ron?
Hi,
Thank
Sherry.
you, Thank you for
Hi,
coming on
everyone.
very much. Hi, Ron.
Hey,
I wanted
Ron.
to let you pop in real quick. I know you got a show
Yeah,
to
I
go
was
to.
waiting in the backstage for a while now.
I know. I only have 6 slots, so I'm rotating as fast as I can without being rude.
Yeah. No, that's okay.
Yeah,
okay.
I just want to
Well-
congratulate you, Sherry.
Yeah, I
Just
just
you know,
want to. Yeah.
just from seeing you on on my platform too, and just on my channel, and just you're always determined and just showing love to the people in the chats. Coming on the panel too. Even if you want to stay for at least a couple of minutes, I just appreciate you too, Sherry. Now I just saw as a strong spirit about you too. Just when it comes to just with your spirituality and with everything that you do, especially the good times we had on Instagram with Sonia. If she's in the chat too, so shout out to my big sisters in the chat, and for those who on the panel too. So and Scott and Ron and Dean, I collab with a lot of people too on this panel and some in the chat too. So it's like, holy crap! And just with you, Sherry, I just find you amazing. I just want to congratulate you too and wish you more success when it comes to your channel and with your spiritual journey and everything else. So with that being said, I'm going to hop off here because I'm not sure how many people you have, so I don't want to take all this. Like this,
Every time I look down there's more in line. It's like it's never
Oh, good
ending.
Lord.
yeah.
I'll go ahead and bow out to Sherry. Many
Isn't that a
blessings.
beautiful thing?
Congratulations.
Thank you, Dean, very much. I enjoy your show as well. Thank you, Jay. Jay's my little brother here, so
I'm everybody's little brother, so that's all
I
good.
know.
Let's run away.
I wait for his daddy to cook me some barbecue.
For sure. I'm gonna get off here so people can jump on too. So
Thank you, darling.
See you.
Love you very much.
Ron.
Bye, Jay.
Yeah,
Bye.
it's that way you get more room. And I need to get my findings that I found today home anyway and get them cleaned up. So
There you go.
thank you for having me. Oh, hey, how you doing?
Hi, Pat.
Pat's there. Hi,
Yeah.
Pat.
Hi.
And Ron, and now Jeffrey's here.
Hi, Jeff.
Hi, Scott. Hi, Ron.
Thank you, Pat. That's
Sherry.
gorgeous.
Hi, False Teeth. Hi, Pat.
Hi.
Pat does these beautiful like oracle drawings that
Yeah,
she
she
just
did a couple on me too.
That's cool.
yeah,
Yeah.
she did one on me the first time I met at Believe Me Away. And she scanned it and emailed it to me. I still have that saved. I still look at that picture on a regular basis. It really boosts me up if I'm feeling down sometimes. So
Yeah, this is the vibe of the gathering.
Oh, wow.
oh, thank you. I love all those colors.
Yeah.
Everybody just all wrapped together.
Yeah.
It's
You
beautiful.
know. It's like
Looks like there's a pair of wings to that.
yeah,
But they're like
all the angel wings all flapping together.
Yeah, it feels like the Phoenix to me.
Oh, there you go. See another artist. You look at it with an artist eye.
To me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So if you, I can email it to you afterwards.
Thank you, Pat, very much. Keep doing your stories. Your voice is beautiful. Keep doing your stories. She does these great little stories she reads and posts online. She's got that wonderful voice that you just go right off to sleep with.
That's nice.
That is a blessing to have a nice place.
Congratulations, Shari. Thank you for having a fun Saturday afternoon.
Thank you so much, Pat. Thank you for coming.
I'm happy to be here.
I pulled a few cards. I pulled a few cards for you, Sherry.
Okay.
Celebration.
I'm getting my incense stick.
Yeah, the first one came out was the Queen of Wands.
Oh.
And that's telling me continue to believe in yourself.
Mm-hmm.
That's your creative inspiration, expand your mind, and then unity. And it's basically the Hierophant card. So that's about where you're at now. being in that like-minded spiritual community.
Mm-hmm.
And then I have Queen of Cups.
Beautiful.
Remember always to stay in love. Always to stay in that energy of love, the Queen, and listen to yourself. Don't worry about naysayers or negativity. Just the passion, the community, and love. That's the message coming for you.
Thank you, Scott.
Yeah.
Okay, Sherry, I love you, and I love all you guys. Pat, Scott, Ron, you already know. And I'm glad to see you with my own eyeballs and your eyeballs to mine. Because Tyler, I've been wanting for a couple of years. So, Pat, you're just so beautiful, and I just want to say that. Okay, and not at a gay point, but your soul, you're just so beautiful. But Sherry, thank you so much, and I love you. You're
Thank you,
gonna just
darling.
keep on going and going until you can't go no more, just like us women do.
That's
Okay, you
it.
take care, and I'm gonna get some of these burrs off of me, and get these rocks home. You guys take care. Mwah.
Bye, Melinda. Thank
Bye,
you for
Melinda.
coming.
Love you.
I'll go to Shari and give someone else a chance to pop on in. Congratulations again, and it's nice to share space with all these lovely people. Great
Oh,
community.
thank you, Pat, very much. Thank you for
Nice to
coming.
see you, Pat, again. So
I'll still be right here. I'm just making room for the next person.
Okay.
that
And you know what?
was amazing.
I don't have anybody waiting backstage, so I'm
Wow.
just surrounded with the guys. I'm hanging with the guys.
All right then.
That's my comfort zone anyway. I
You don't
usually
have to bug out then.
Jambalaya will all come over.
you got it. I make gumbo too. I make a good sausage and chicken gumbo. So
Yum.
Heck, might as well grab the rebel cards, have some fun.
I don't have any rebel cards.
I got those. I got those too. The rebel cards, yeah.
I'm gonna grab
The card.
random rebel card for sure.
I also have ET cards.
What you got, Jeff?
And the moon is really about prophecy. The moon is the mysterious path. You're being led. You're being led. And, as you walk down the path further and further, it becomes clearer and clearer and clearer.
That's very true.
Yeah.
That's very true. I learned so much from you when we did a show recently. Jeffrey's doing a thing on different, like highlighting each card, and we did the Hanged Man together. And I learned so much about that one card that I didn't know anything about. I'm really enjoying the ones that you've gotten up so far. It's nice to see a different perspective, a different meaning, a more in-depth meaning than just 2 or 3 words written on a card. I really enjoyed that. Thank you.
Thank you.
And oh look, I got another lady to add.
Oh, Allie.
Hi, Miss Allie.
I don't know what the card that came out was the rebel card for you, Sherry, was stop talking.
No.
Shut
up
your mouth.
now.
Shut your mouth and listen. But I was kind of like, that makes no sense for tonight, right? So I was actually looking at the one below. But actually, I looked at the one below it and it made more sense.
Okay. Oh, thank you.
You're loved.
Yeah.
You're here for a reason.
Don't F it up. Yeah, right.
Yeah.
So this one made more sense than the one that. So I just grabbed the deck and pulled it. So the one below it made more sense.
Well, Miss Allie,
Yeah.
how are you? I can't hear you.
No, I can't hear you. You're muted somehow. Oh.
Turn on the volume.
I know that she's not at home, so
Oh.
Yeah, sometimes it's like people tell you where they go, push that button. It's like, I don't have that button.
Okay. Okay. She's going to go out and come back in.
Okay.
Okay.
Sometimes that helps.
I just wanted to say congratulations and best of luck. And you're going to get more and more fans and more readings and more people you're have on your channel. You go on their channel, la 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 la. So I just wanted to say blessings and keep it up and continue to walk down that path, and it becomes clearer and clearer as time goes on.
Thank you very much, Jeffrey. I really appreciate it.
And
I have
heard
enjoyed
for you
watching
from the Rebel card. It says, you think someone is lying. They are.
Can you hear me now?
I can hear you now, loud and clear. Yay!
Thank
All
you.
right, I'm going, so we have more room.
Thank you, Jeffrey, so much.
Buenas tardes.
That's right.
Yes.
Buenas noches. This is where I'm at.
Noches.
Gracias. Adios.
Bye.
So some of these rebel cards are kind of rude.
Oh yeah, they are, but they're
Some of
fun.
them are really can almost be insulting if the person doesn't have a sense of humor.
Yeah.
I
I
just
was
want
going
to
to pull one for Ron, but I didn't like it.
I just want to say congratulations, Shari H. And I remember when you first started, you were very nervous about doing lives and how to run StreamYard and all that. I remember that. So
Yeah,
you
I
did a
believe
couple
I asked you a lot of questions.
collaborations, and you finally settled down, and yeah. So
Trial and error. Trial and error.
I have to go because I have a live tonight. So
You have a show, I
have
know.
a couple
So-
guests. I have to,
You got the Canadian show tonight.
It's the Toonies and the Loonies.
And
Well,
I'll leave
I'm
before I get a Rebel card.
I'm going to give it to you anyway, Ron, because I tried twice with the rebel. Here,
Yeah.
Ron.
What's that?
That's the rebels telling you.
Uh-oh.
You're giving too much. You're
Yeah.
giving too much fuck.
Yeah.
Give 0.
That's right.
Yeah.
Always
Well,
zero.
I mean,
So I'm thinking this is saying let stuff go if you're having issues or fights with everyone. Hey, look at that.
I got,
Go with the
I
flow.
got,
There you
I
go.
got ET cards. You want to
Oh,
fly?
that's the tower card.
I love my ET cards.
Yeah, I
I've
use
been
them.
using them a lot. I like them.
Beautiful.
Sometimes I do readings with them, and they resonate.
Yeah,
Yeah.
one of my students called in on my live last
Thank you for
weekend
sending them to me.
and asked me for a reading, and I used those to do a reading on her, and she was
Yeah.
so
Cool.
Yeah,
Nice.
it resonates when you do readings. It depends on the question, depends on the way they
Yeah.
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 And then I use them, and it just bounces right there.
yeah.
Oh, I love
I
it,
tend to
Ron.
take all my cards out when I'm reading, and then when I get asked the question and I see who the person is, and then I just I sit and wait for a second to see which deck says my turn. So that's what I use. And so
Ali, I'll see you on a Circle of Friends. I think it's on
Tomorrow or Monday. Yeah.
Monday.
Oh,
Yeah. Looking forward to it, Ron.
Yeah. Okay.
Bye,
Take
honey.
care, everybody. Bye bye.
Okay.
Bye, Ron.
Bye, Ron.
So when y'all leave here after I'm done, go over to Ron's channel because he's going to be live, and it's going to be all Canadians on there tonight.
Oh,
So
that's awesome. Yeah.
that'll be quite a unique thing. Wow, we're down to 3.
Well, I want to shout out to you, Shari, of course, because it's your special day. And I'm so very proud of you and have watched you from the very beginning.
Quite a lot.
And I want to shout out to the lovely people that are here for you, that are in the chat, that haven't come in, and also those who did come in but have already gone back to the chat. You really have influenced a lot of us, and it's very obvious by all the people who have come to be with you tonight that you are a very special lady. So congratulations. Thank you. I pulled a dog card, and it says, speak your truth. And I think you do. I don't think you hold back there. So continue to speak your truth, because clarity is right under your nose. I think that more gifts are going to be coming out for you. throughout your next year of fun on the channel.
Thank you. That'll be fun.
It would be. Yeah. Yeah. And what are you doing, Scott? Pulling more cards?
Oh, I was, yeah. Or I'm just putting the
Good.
rubble away.
Oh, okay.
I don't know,
Those
they seem kind of rude tonight. I was gonna pull one for you, but it said get your ass out in the outside. Your body's upset with you.
it probably is. Honestly,
But you're on vacation right now, right? You're out.
I know it was out
Are you?
earlier. The sun
are
kept
you?
coming and going. Yes.
Well, that's
Yeah,
the card.
I'm not used to
That's the
this
card to
time.
pull.
Yeah.
You're in Eastern, right? You're over
Yes,
in
I'm
Eastern
on
time
Eastern
zone.
time
Yeah,
zone. Yeah.
it's an hour ahead of me.
Down to
So
take a nap. I was so tired. It's going to take me a while, and I'll get used to it, and then I'll go home and have to
Oh,
do it all
yeah.
over.
have to rearrange again. Yeah,
Absolutely. Yeah.
exactly.
Yeah. So I did come in. I saw, I saw Kevin, and I saw Sheila, Celtic Tarot, and I saw Michelle, and I saw Melinda. I saw
Yeah, Dave
Dean
was here.
and Perk. I saw somebody else that came in. Oh, Patricia? Is that Patricia?
Yep.
Yeah.
Patricia was here. Yep.
Yeah.
And Angela came, and
Jay and
yeah,
the purple elephant.
Purple elephant. Yes.
when I first started thinking I'm going to do this, and then I literally sent an invitation out to everyone I had an email address.
Yeah.
Everybody had their email address.
Oh, Kelly came as well. I saw Kelly.
Yeah, Kelly was here too for a while.
Kelly. Yeah.
And I sent out an email to everybody that had an email address on, and thought if 5 people say yes, I'm doing great.
I have to tell you,
over 20 people respond.
Yeah,
yes,
you blew a lot of us out.
Or
of the
maybe, and so it was like, oh my God, what am I going to do? I can only do 6 people at a time.
Yeah. No, but I think it's fabulous. Everybody came out for you, and you've blown a lot of us out of the water with everybody that came. So it was perfect.
Oh yeah, I'm beside myself. I'm so touched.
Well, we love you, so it's a good reason.
Thank
good
you.
reason to be here. Yeah. And I saw some Michelle Shining Light.
Yeah, Michelle was here, and
and
Dally, the Wolf Girl Oracle, was here.
from the girl from London was here. Yes.
Mandy. Yeah, Mandy was here. Yeah, it was midnight there, so it was like I felt guilty for keeping her up, but she was like, "Oh, we're recording right now." So
yeah. And hi, Heather. It's good to see you, Seascape. Goodness sakes, lots of lovely folks here.
All kinds of people. I've been trying to keep up in the
chat.
In the chat, and it's like I'm not used to this many people in the chat. It's like, okay, this is a lot harder than it looks.
It's so awesome.
It's a nice problem to have.
It's a nice problem. That's right.
Yeah. It's better than to just be talking to 2 people. Although if just 2 people show up, I'm happy they showed up. So
I was talking about that last night. I said, we think sometimes that what we're doing isn't really being seen or isn't really affecting anybody. And we're wondering if we should still be here because no one's here. But the longer you stay, the longer you do what you're doing, what you have done for the last year, the more that comes and the more that comes. And then all of a sudden, look at all the people, it's amazing.
I'm blown away with all the people that I've met this past year. Really the past 2 years, even before I
Before you even came online. Yeah, you were very busy in the chat.
And I have Lisa and Sharon to thank for that. Nasty Women Tarot. They're the one. Every Tuesday night, boy, I'd come home from work. They would just be coming on as I was coming home. It was perfect. And I'd sit and watch it. I would sit and laugh at the antics and everything going on. And it just, it would really kind of take away the day, And
oh, sure. Yeah.
One night they were talking about bra sizes, and I just had to put my 2 cents worth in. And before I knew it, I had everybody cracking up, and suddenly everybody in chat was talking to me. I didn't know you were here, and you finally said something, and blah blah blah, and it was a little overwhelming, and but I came back, and about a month later, Lisa made me a moderator. And I was like, what the hell is that? What am I supposed to do?
I know, what do I have to do? What am I
What does
doing?
that mean? And she was like, just talk to Ron. He'll explain it.
Yep.
I meant to say that when Ron was on earlier, and I did. That's the first thing I did was I DM'd Ron and said, what am I doing? And he explained it to me. And I was like, oh, okay. And
He's a very good teacher about moderating. Absolutely. Yeah.
Between Ron
and Sharon's Skype is always there on all of our channels and many others that have done the moderate. We'd be lost without our moderators, honestly.
Oh yeah. I mean, I know there are times when, because I am a moderator, and a lot of times I listen to shows during the week when I'm at work. And so I'm listening, but I'm not next to the keyboard.
Correct.
Not even in front of the computer. I'm running around the office doing different things. I have my earbuds plugged in. And so then I feel guilty because it's like, if I hear somebody say something about a troll, then I start feeling bad because I wasn't at the keyboard to deal with it, you know? And then usually it's like, no, Sharon's there. She's got it. I don't have to worry about it. You know, or Seascape or Pamela Bryant's another one that they're like right on it. Boom, boom, you know?
Absolutely.
It's hard for a troll to get through.
That's
I know I heard them talk about it and I didn't really know what they meant when people were talking about trolls. And Scott, you were on with what is her name? She's in Wisconsin.
Right. Yeah, I haven't talked to her for a while, but yeah, I know who you're talking about.
I'm going completely blank on her name.
No, I think she's in Michigan, actually.
Michigan, okay, something like that. But y'all ran into each other in a grocery store.
Yeah.
And y'all were talking about it on chat. And
oh yeah, trolls just hit.
Oh yeah.
And
Joyce, all knowing. Joyce, all knowing.
Yeah, Joyce. Yeah. That was the craziest thing ever.
I couldn't believe what I was seeing. I was like, oh my God. And
there was like
all the moderators were going crazy trying to block these. I mean, y'all wound up having to shut it down because it just whatever it was they were doing it well. And I was like, no,
you block them, it'd come right back. It was like an auto generate thing or something. It was nuts.
Yeah, it was crazy, and it was such ugly things.
Telling Joyce, gosh, we must have said the wrong word or something. They just
don't like tarot, or
they just want
to create chaos. One or the other.
Yeah, exactly.
I don't believe they're people. I think it's
I think it's bots. Yeah. It's bots. I mean, you can kind of tell the one that's the actual person talking to you, because sometimes we'll engage them to see what they're about. And you can tell if it's just a bot or if it's a person. Because if it's a bot, we just block. Be done with that, you know. But yeah, it's that was wild that night. And then I saw it happen like a couple of nights later to somebody else. Yeah. And that's when you saw the moderator colors in the chat rooms like double and triple. All of a sudden, everybody was becoming mods because everybody was flipping out about.
Well, that and until you find out as a person who does, you know, shows that you can go to slow-mo, and sometimes you have to, and sometimes, you know, it saves you from going through the bots that just go boom, 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 boom.
Yeah.
And continue to go. That's why we do it. We hate doing it because people want to talk, you know, and have their.
It's irritating. I did it tonight because I knew that I had some people that said they were going to come visit that have really big channels. And so I was like, I don't know who's going to come with them. You know, and so
I brought Archangel Michael with me.
I put like a 30-second delay or something on the chat. So I figured that ought to work.
That's a good one. Yeah, that's a good one.
You know, but
wow.
I think most of my regulars are all mods now anyways.
Yeah, it's
good for you. Good for you.
Yeah, it's weird. They've really slowed down a lot.
Yeah.
There isn't as many.
Yeah. I don't know why they do what they do, but
just to create mayhem and that's about it. Yeah.
Create chaos.
So I want to say bonjour, et bienvenue.
It means welcome, hello, and welcome. in
It
French.
says that in New Hampshire on their welcome sign too.
Oh
So
wow.
yeah, yeah.
Well, it says I'm Cajun French
I
as
know.
well
Oh,
as being Scots, Irish, Welsh, and Cherokee. I'm also Cajun French.
I've
So
been watching that 5 Days of Memorial. Oh my God. Have you watched it at all? The show about the Hurricane Katrina hospital?
no, I haven't seen it
Oh.
yet. I've got it saved, but I haven't watched it yet. And I wasn't here when Katrina hit. I was living in
Oh.
Phoenix at the time.
Oh, okay.
But I had friends and family that were here when
Mhm.
Katrina hit, and it was scary.
It was.
I mean, I've been through 3 Cat 5s in my lifetime
Yeah.
that we didn't leave for. We just wrote it out. And,
Yeah. And they said this one, you shouldn't do that. And a lot of
Yeah,
people couldn't leave. They couldn't leave. That's the problem.
yeah, a lot of people I know in Phoenix, a lot of people were like, why didn't they leave?
I know.
And
They
I
don't
said,
realize how poor
I said,
people are.
number one, a lot of these people, they've been through so many hurricanes that they just don't. It's like, yeah, okay, it's just another
It's
hurricane.
just another one.
Yeah.
And it really wasn't the hurricane as much as it was the levees.
The
That's
levees
what the problem was. Yeah.
And with the levees, I mean, they've been bitching about that for 50 plus years about fix the levees because you're going to have an event, and the minute they break, that's going to be it. And it
was.
It finally happened. But I mean, I grew up down here, so I've been hearing them bitch and moan about the levees all my life.
Yeah.
But they never did anything, or they would throw a little bit of money at it and kind of foo it away and
understood.
Until the next election season came along.
Yeah.
And so, I know a lot of people that they couldn't leave. They didn't have a car. They had nowhere to go. They couldn't afford a hotel. A lot of people down here, they have their dogs and their cats, and that's their family. And
I know they brought them to the shelter. Some of them, yeah.
Yeah, they take their dogs and cats with them when they have to evacuate. And it's only been since Katrina that you've seen a lot of the shelters and hotels kind of suspend that rule of no pets because they saw how many people didn't leave because they had a pet and they weren't going to leave.
Either that or they found all these pets that were floating around and
I mean,
chained up and
Yep.
and
it was.
I feel
It
the
was
same
really,
way. I feel the same way.
It was really scary. I mean, when in 1969 we went to Florida, Fort Walton Beach, Florida, 2 weeks before Hurricane Camille hit, and that was a Category 5, and it changed the Mississippi Gulf Coast.
Wow.
We're talking all these beautiful old plantation homes that lined the beach, and 80% of them were gone the next day. There were fishing trawlers that were way out in the Gulf that were sitting in people's front yards. It took out the roads. That was before I-10 was finished going through there. So just after you hit Slidell, Louisiana, you had to go south. You went straight down to past Christiane where Highway 98 picked up.
Right.
You would take Highway 98 into Florida. That's the only way you could get there. And Camille was the eye went over past Christiane. So it wiped all of that out, took out the roads, everything. We weren't able to go back to Texas to go get the rest of our stuff for almost 2 months after the hurricane hit because there was no way to get there without going like way north and then and then
going across.
And so I mean it's when you kind of see it firsthand, you see how scary it can be. But Katrina was just a different animal altogether. Because I had
I can't believe it was so long ago, really. Like 17 years ago or something. So
yeah, it's been a long time. I have all of my late husband's family are all in Gulf Coast, Mississippi, Pascagoula and Gulf Shore.
And they got hit too. Yeah,
and I almost lost one of my nephews from Pseudomonas and sepsis that he got from just cleaning out his yard.
Oh, I believe it.
Afterwards.
You have to be so careful. Yeah.
I have one of my nieces and a friend who, when the water started coming in the door and the windows, ran out the other door and thought, we'll go to my mom's. She's further north, and her house is built up off the ground. They got about halfway there before the storm surge overtook them. And they literally had to, there was an empty house that was there. Whoever left didn't lock the doors.
Right.
And they went into the house and they spent the night on top of the countertops, praying that the water didn't get to them.
Yeah, because some people were on the roofs. Yeah.
Yeah. And but so yeah, I mean, that it was a really scary time. And I had a lot of friends and family down here that I was keeping up with. That, I mean, we even had refugees come out to Phoenix. That they opened up the big stadium in Glendale and to put up the refugees in. People were donating their rent houses for families to move into, rent free for like a year, so they get back on their feet again. And it was kind of weird for a while. Anywhere you went in town, you'd hear people with a Cajun accent talking, or that Creole accent. And I'd been away from it for a while. Okay. But I was lucky I didn't lose anybody.
You're right.
A couple of close calls, but I didn't lose anybody. So
I'm glad.
With COVID, that's a different story.
Yeah, I know. Totally different.
I've lost several friends and family members to COVID. And it was
still escalating again. We have to be very careful.
Yeah.
I got to go because I'm staying with family.
I know you're on vacation, so
I know, but I'm glad I could come by and congratulate you, and bye Scott, bye everybody in the chat, and congratulations, my friend.
Thank you so much.
Good job. Thank you. Take care now.
Bye. Well, if there's anybody in chat that has the link, if you want to pop back in, now's your time. It's just me and Scott. What are we going to do, Scott?
I don't know.
Let's have a party. Actually, I was shuffling before we even went live. I was going to pull a card for the collective. And then everybody got in and we went live and everybody started talking. And I had like a dozen people in the holding pattern down below. And I was like, oh my God. So
I got blocked the first time. It said, come back later. Too many even waiting.
Oh, wow. Yeah, I kept getting a little drop down box, kept showing up saying, if you upgrade to premium, you can bring all these people in. It's like, if I would have upgraded to premium already. You should have said something. We'd have done it on my channel.
That's pretty lucky. I'm pretty lucky. As far as hurricanes or anything in Wisconsin, you might have a rare chance of a tornado. There was one, I can't remember what year it was, but it dropped for maybe, it went through, I think it was in the late 80s or early 90s. But it was maybe 10 miles from me. But it only went through, I mean, it went through, it took out a farm. It took out 2 farms, and that was about it. I mean, a lot of wind damage everywhere, but so my whole life, that's the only experience I've had with anything. We've had wind. We've had wind
tornadoes in hurricanes. They will spawn tornadoes. They're usually not as strong as what the Midwest gets, but yeah, that's kind of scary. I've never been in a tornado. I've never been in an earthquake.
Oh, that's right. There was a huge one in '84. It took out a whole town pretty much.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
It was one of the small towns about 45 miles away east, Barneveld. But yeah, it took out that whole town. We had I remember we had to go play baseball my junior year. We had the first time I actually seen it happen. And the bus coming in, and we're just all amazed because we played. They were in our league in school, and we were going through. And we seen all the damage. The school was half being rebuilt and everything, and
Yeah.
it's like, wow, just it's amazing. I mean,
Yeah.
it's almost like seeing all these images of these the towns in Ukraine that got bombed. It's pretty much the same.
Yeah, that's what it looks like. It looks like somebody dropped a bomb on it. And hurricanes are the same things, especially when you get the really strong ones with real high winds, like a 3 or 4 or 5. I mean, I know when Hurricane Andrew, Viviani, no, I didn't tell the Stevie Nicks story yet. I'll do that next.
Oh, yeah, Stevie Nicks story.
But when Hurricane Andrew, which of course went across Florida and wiped out the whole strip it went across, went back into the Gulf, and then literally came right up the Atchafalaya Swamp, is where it came in at here in Louisiana. The eye passed right up through the swamp, which is about 3 miles east of me, where I live right now, 3 to 4 miles to the swamp. I remember when they finally opened the Atchafalaya Basin Bridge, which is an 18-mile long bridge to get across that swamp. That's how wide the swamp is. Just to get from here to Baton Rouge, you got to cross that swamp. And they finally opened the bridge up for people to go back. And it looked like somebody had dropped a huge bomb in the middle of the swamp. It was like all these trees were laid flat. It was unreal. I'd never seen that. I mean, because I'd always been closer to the shore for hurricanes, and I saw damage to property, but I'd never seen what it would do to like a swamp, that it would, that it just came right on up. And that was kind of wild. Yeah. I remember my husband and I sat out on the porch and watched him come in, because it had a fantastic lightning show with it that night. It was just, the lightning was just like streaking across the sky. And he loved to watch weather. I used to be terrified of storms, and he got me over that. And now I like to go sit outside when it's storming to watch the storms coming in. It's just a little piece of him still that I can still have. And Heather's back. Yay!
I'm a little washed up, but we said you guys were just on. I thought I'd jump back in and say hi. And
yeah, that's why I was like, anybody's
for a few
in chat, if you want to come back, come on back.
Yeah.
We're
Scott,
mellowed
like my
out now.
t-shirt?
Def Leppard. All right.
Yeah.
Cool.
Oh, but
Love-
Viviani's been
love
trying to get
Def
you to
Leppard.
tell the Stevie Nicks story. What's the Stevie Nicks story?
Okay, yeah, okay. The Stevie Nicks story. What show were we on the other night? Oh, it was Kelly doing the fireside chat.
I love Stevie Nicks.
And somebody was talking about celebrity.
Be right back.
Okay. Hi, Chrissy.
Hello.
Over.
It's Chrissy.
So anyway, they were talking about celebrities they had met. And I said, I said, remind me next time, I'll tell you my Stevie Nicks story. And so everybody's been after me to tell the Stevie Nicks story. And when I lived in Phoenix, as most people know, Stevie Nicks is from Scottsdale, which is like on the east side of Phoenix.
Yeah.
And there's one of the main roads that's kind of like right where Phoenix and Scottsdale meet. It's one of the main north-south roads. And I was running errands one day. Windows were down. It was a nice, cool afternoon. Radio's blasting, and it was a Stevie Nicks song that was on. It was before my cervical fusion, so I could still sing back then. And I'm singing away at the top of my lungs, because I love Stevie Nicks.
Me too.
And I noticed out the corner of my eye, this person looking at me in this car. And I turned my head, and it was Stevie Nicks. She was being brought somewhere, and she's sitting there, and she just goes like this through the window. I could have died and gone to heaven at that very moment. I was just, the next thing I know, cars are honking at me to go because the light had turned and they went on their way. And I was just sitting there going, because it's like, I used to be able to sing, yeah, okay, but nothing like she does. But to know that I was just belting it out, not thinking about anything, sitting at a stoplight, and I look over and there she sits looking at me and just doing this thumbs up at me. And I was like, oh my,
Oh my
it's
God.
Stevie Nicks. And I ran into Glenn Campbell one day at the grocery store.
Glenn Campbell. Oh, my daddy loved Glenn Campbell.
Uh, Alice Cooper, I forget the guy's real name. He lives in Phoenix. He's from Phoenix. He does PDAs for the highway patrol in Phoenix. It's like Alice Cooper is doing PDAs. When I first moved there, it blew me away. Ran into him in a store one day. It was just
Alex Fournier or something like that. Weird name, yeah.
the amount of celebrities you see in the Phoenix Scottsdale area is really it's quite unnerving at times, and that's because it's so expensive to live in LA now.
She's got
That
a lot of back mountains.
A lot of them bought property there in the Scottsdale and Cave Creek area, which is a little north of Scottsdale, up in the mountains, and there's some really nice gated communities up there. And so it's not unusual to walk in a grocery store and there's some actor or singer or rock star standing there buying milk and bread with his kids,
Weird Al Yankovic twice.
Yeah.
And I didn't even like the guy.
Oh, come on.
I love Weird Al. Come on.
How can you not like
Now,
it?
the first celebrity I ever met.
Anybody for me to run into, really, of all my dreams, I'm like, Weird Al. Bob Vila one day in Boston.
I'd bow to Weird Al if I seen him.
I know, he was great.
Oh, wow. Okay.
My first celebrity I met, though, I was 4 years old, and it was Michael Landon back in his Bonanza days when he was still Little Joe. And I was in love with Little Joe. My first baby doll, I cut all the hair off and named it Baby Joe because I didn't want it to be a girl baby doll. This is according to my mother and my grandmother. My grandfather had taken me to a rodeo where he was one of the guest stars as Little Joe from the Ponderosa, riding the paint horse that he rode in the show. And when he came out, started like riding around the circle of the corral, and all these people are up in the stands cheering. And I got so excited, I jumped up and I ran down the thing to go to the railing with my grandfather in hot pursuit trying to catch me. And I hit the rail so hard that my body flipped over it.
Ooh.
And I almost fell into the arena. But Michael Landon, who was just coming around that corner, saw what happened and like kicked his horse into gear and caught me and put me back over the railing to my grandfather. And he's like, you got to hang on better than that. And then he kissed my hand and then he rode off. My mother said I wouldn't wash that hand for weeks afterwards because Little Joe kissed my hand. It wasn't Michael Landon. It was Little Joe kissed my hand, but that was my first celebrity.
The first celebrity I ever got to meet that I really actually wanted to meet was Mickey Dolenz from the Monkees.
Oh, that would be cool.
When I was in high
That would be
school.
cool. He's the only one left.
He's the only one left, yeah.
He's
I
the only
can't
one left.
believe it.
Yeah.
Hi, Chrissy. How are you doing? Thank you for coming.
Fine. I don't have any celebrity stories. I mean, my mum went out with one of Coldjoy's roadies, and that's about as close as I get to celebrity.
Who's roadies?
My mom went to high school with Johnny and Edgar Winter.
He's an American, not an American, an Australian 60s rocker. And yeah, my mum went out with one of his roadies and knew his brother. But apart from being third or fourth cousin to an ex-prime minister, I won't say who. That's it. Yeah, not that I'm ashamed. It's just that it's just.
My mom had Billy Sheehan from Taliesin for Mr. Big once make her a rose out of a paper napkin at a bar and give it to her.
Don't know who that is.
American, but yeah, I think Scott probably would know who Billy Sheehan is, bass player from Taliesin back in the 80s. Remember Mr. Big? Also,
In what
I
show?
don't know. I think Mum also
Van,
met
Tallis, and Mr.
some
Big.
American person
Yes,
called
sir.
Ty Harden. He was over here filming a series up in Cairns, and she was in Wollongong at the time, and her cousin was actually in the series with him. So, yeah, I mean, I can't remember the woman's name, but yeah, it's just like, yeah, it's all second, third, fourth hand. So, a few degrees of separation. I'm okay with that. It's like, I think, yeah. I mean, if you see someone and they're nice, like Stevie Nicks sounded like a very, very nice reaction, and Michael Landon sounded like the type of reaction he would have. Yeah, but sometimes you'll meet
How
people or you'll see them in action and they're like, oh my God, what a jerk or something. So it's nice when you have a positive reaction, a positive experience with somebody.
Or nothing
And
worse than you have meet somebody like that and you have a very negative.
Yeah.
It's
I got
really.
to see Stevie Nicks before I left Arizona, and Shan got me 2 tickets the minute they went on sale. And of course, the first 10 rows, 9 rows are out given to radio stations and whatnot. But he got me to 10 row, and it was just like, I'm here and she's there, and I'm just like, I mean, it was phenomenal. It
I
was
can
just incredible
imagine.
to
I
be
worked
around
with a
that
girl when I lived in Phoenix. I worked with a girl that originally came from California. Her family's in the LA area, and she worked for Cedar Sinai Hospital. And she told us stories of some of the celebrities she met. And some of the ones that you'd think would be really nice people were some of the rudest people that you would ever meet. She said, but the one that really knocked my socks off, she said she was doing a rotation with the cancer unit. And she came into work one morning and the other person that was supposed to be at work with her that day didn't show up. And she had all of these cancer patients coming in for their chemo treatments. And so she's like having to check people in, get their information, fill out their chart, run it to the back, give it to the doctor, then come out and get the patients, bring them to the back so they could go in back to go do what they needed to do, and then bring them back out front and collect their money or their information if it was insurance, and then do the next one. I mean, she was doing all the jobs of like 3 people. She was the only one there. She said that about halfway through the morning, in walks Carol Burnett.
Oh, I love her.
The one that had cancer, that died from cancer. In walked Carol Burnett with her daughter. And they walked up to the desk and she said, I'm trying my best not to just completely fangirl out on this woman, grew up with her. She said, and I was like, before anybody could even speak, I was being, I'm sorry, this is going to be a little crazy. And she said, Carol Burnett was just really nice. I said, oh, no problem. We'll just sit over here and wait our turn. She said about 45 minutes had gone by with her running back and forth doing all these jobs. And she had finally come back out front to find Carol Burnett sitting behind the reception desk, answering the phone and taking messages. And she was just kind of floored. And she said, Miss Burnett, you don't have to do that. And Carol says, oh, you're busy. Go do what you need to do. I got this. And she sat there and worked the desk for like an hour, hour and a half, waiting until her daughter had her turn. And so her daughter went in the back to go get her treatment. And Carol Burnett said, I'll be right back. 15 minutes later, she comes back in with this huge plate lunch from one of the taco trucks out front for my friend. She says, I want you to go sit down over there and I want you to eat this lunch. And I'm going to run the front. But I want to see you eat everything because you're working too hard. She said, I sat over there. She says, I couldn't have told you what I ate or what it tasted like. But she told me to eat it and I ate it. She said, but she was the nicest, most generous person she had ever met in her life. And her daughter, who was in all that pain and sick, was just as nice as she was, And compared to some of the people I met, she said, what a breath of fresh air she was. So I was like, it's nice when you hear a good story like that,
If you love it, there's a free channel Tubi, Tubi, and they've got some of the Carol Burnett shows on it. And I
Yeah.
think even Amazon Prime has some of them on it. And I love that she'd come out onto the stage and she'd talk to people and
Oh,
ask
yeah.
them a question. And there was one where she's like, someone she went to school with was in the audience, and she's like, and she's sort of like, do I know you, or something like that, and the interaction was like, oh my goodness, and she's like, goes give him a hug, all sorts of things. So it's just like, I love watching her interaction with the
We
audience.
watched her religiously when I was a little girl. Every week when her show came on, my grandmother had that on with that. We watched her
So
every week.
fun. And you can catch like the show send ups that she did. They're on YouTube at the moment, like they've gone with the wind. Oh my goodness. And of course it's from the early 70s and stuff, and I love like Dave Allen and all that. And it's some people like with some things like Vicki Lawrence playing the maid and all that. Harriet was it Harriet Walter, the lady who got the Oscar nod?
No, it was Hattie McDaniel.
Hattie McDaniel, yes, I'm
Yeah.
sorry. All that. You've got to remember it was just like the culture of the time, and yeah. So it's
Her
like,
show was hilarious.
so if you just like take that out, and not that she didn't do it, I love Vicki Lawrence, but I love I love that, and I will watch it time and time again.
Oh yeah, I see. Anytime if I run into a rerun of it on air, I stop and watch it because she still cracks me up to this day. I mean, and one of her daughters, who's a producer in Hollywood, she and her mom got together, and they've been like remixing all of the old Carol Burnett shows, remastering them so that they look like they're new again, and re-releasing them slowly, a few at a time, back on the TV. And I know she talks about, she says, you forget some of the crazy stuff that they did on that show. She says that I'm sitting here, in an editing room going through these old shows of my mom and just rolling on the floor with the other editors, because we're cracking up watching this stuff. We've forgotten how funny it was. And I said, yeah, I tell you, I wish we had shows like that on today. You just,
Yeah, you
You
can
don't
be
get
funny
good shows.
without being violent or graphic or being,
or laughing, Rowan and Martin's
just,
laughing.
Gross, yeah,
really, yeah.
I don't know if anybody's old enough to remember that one, but most of the humor was over my head, but I still loved it.
Same thing with Hee Haw.
Hee Haw, that was another one that we
Yeah.
watched.
It was great.
Yeah, every
That was
Saturday
another
we
one
had,
we
we had to
watched.
watch it.
I've heard of Rowan and Martin's laughing. I have heard of the show Hee Haw, but I don't know much about it. And
Oh, if you ever get a chance to watch any episodes, at the time, and this was the 60s when they were on, and it was a very political humor show, and it was very it was very cutting edge. They pushed the envelope quite a lot and almost got taken off the air a couple of times because
we
of
had a couple of shows here.
some
that
of
were
the humor
like
that
yeah.
they would. The Smothers Brothers did the same thing. They had their own show.
Yeah, my mom waited on them one day when at the restaurant they came into her. My mom was waitressing, and she says they were two of the most nicest, down to earth guys you would ever meet. She goes, they were good people.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah. There is nothing.
It's like just depending on the country and where you and what the time was, and it's like, I know that there's some things I see now, like I saw a skit last night that I probably would have laughed at when I was a kid from Dave Allen, but I looked at it last night and I was like, oh my God, how did they get away with that? And it was pretty savage. But then it sort of stops and thinks, well, what message was he trying to send? You know, because he he was an equal opportunity. He's Irish, Dave Allen, and he would, you know, um, do any accent and stuff like that. I suppose you could call him an equal opportunity offender, but he's like always got a savvy
Kitty tail.
point.
Hey, Kitty.
Like, yeah, and but
Like mine
he's
aren't up here.
pretty savage. But it's like, yeah, but if you say, okay, now that was from the time, from the era, realize that, and just
Cartoons also as kids here.
oh my god,
I
some
look
of
at
the
them and I'm like, I was laughing at that. I thought that was okay as a kid. It's like sometimes I'm mortified.
yeah. And yeah, I mean, a sketch from the two Ronnies, Ronnie Barker and Ronnie Corbett's recently come to light that is just so basically so horrifyingly anti-Semitic. I don't think I've ever seen it, and I think maybe when they were looking at it in post-production or whatever, they thought, "Oh no, that's a step too far." You know, it was down the rabbit hole.
A lot of stuff that they got away with doing in the 60s, they would get shut down in a second nowadays. I mean, they really, people were really pushing the envelope back then, trying to see what they could get away with.
Well, look
And
at Star Trek, the first interracial kiss. I think
Yeah.
it was on television.
Yeah,
And
Well,
they
knew
put the
that
envelope
was
in a good
you know,
way.
the character of Lieutenant Uhura was the first black person that they showed in a command position, not a servant of some sort, you know.
A woman, yeah.
She was
Yeah,
like
I mean-
third, fourth in command of the ship, the rank that she was on the show. I mean, I know I've shared this before. I saw an interview with her, and she was talking about after that first season, she was had given Gene Roddenberry her resignation. She was going to leave to go to a Broadway show, and he was just in a panic. You can't go. You can't go. Well, she was going to be a speaker or something at an event that weekend, and so he told her, he says, "Go do your event, and we'll talk when you come back." So she flew out wherever it was she was going to do this event. And after the thing of the night, and everybody's like drinking and partying and mingling and whatnot, and someone comes along and says, "I have someone over here that's dying to meet you. He's one of your biggest fans." And she's like, "Oh, great." Up walks Martin Luther King Jr., who proceeds to tell her what a wonderful show it was and how much they enjoyed it. It was the only TV show he allowed his children to watch. And she said, "Well, thank you." And then she told him that she was getting ready to leave the show to go do a Broadway show. And he was like, "Oh, you can't do that." He says, "You have no clue what you mean to our community that you're doing this." He said, "Do you understand you're in a leadership position on that show?" She's like, "It's a TV show." He says, "People don't care. You're in a leadership position. You're like third or fourth in command, whatever it was of the ship." And he said, "You're the first black person to be on a weekly TV show that's not in a subservient position, that's in a high-ranking position." He was like, "You can't leave." He says, "You have no idea what you're doing for our community by just doing this TV show." And he convinced her to stay. And so when she went back to LA, she went and saw Gene Monday morning, said, "I've thought about it. I think I'm going to change my mind and I'm going to stay with the show. Can I have my resignation letter back?" He said, "Absolutely." He pulled it out of the drawer. He had never even opened it. He handed it to her and he said, "So, how did you like meeting Dr. King?" This man managed to pull off getting Martin Luther King to make sure he went and talked to her to tell her, "You can't leave the show." I mean, because that's how forward thinking Gene Roddenberry was. I mean, he had to fight to get her in that position on that show. He had to fight to make a alien person Mr. Spock. and be on the show.
I mean,
It was
yeah.
I don't know. It's
It,
just so
it
weird.
was,
I don't even think of that.
yeah. No,
It didn't
she's
bother me,
Yeah.
of seeing
yeah,
any person, race, whatever. It was entertainment. It was fascinating.
yeah. I
Yeah,
just liked it because it was a
exactly.
space show and they had aliens every week and they did all this cool stuff.
Yeah.
I never once it never dawned on me that this was a woman of color in a command position. I wouldn't have known what that was. I mean, I was a
I
kid.
didn't.
Um, it wasn't until I was a teenager that it kind of started hitting home just how progressive that show was when it went into reruns. And you sit and watch it, you're like, wow, they had a lot of topics they
Hey, man.
covered in this show that were very politically in tune at that point in time. That as a kid, that kind of goes right over your head. You're not seeing that.
And it shows how, even though they got canceled after only 2 seasons, you could still see the influence and the fan base it had
He got a dribble.
with the movies and,
He's got a dribble.
Chrissy's got a dribble. Hi, Katie.
I do.
Oh, my
I have a
God.
dribble. He's a purse.
with
He's a
dribbles.
purse. When we were in New York, the
What's a purse? Oh, that's cool.
the aircraft carrier Intrepid had the Starship Academy experience, so we went on that, and James was like a huge Star Trek fan, and he got through the gates and he bolted ahead of me, and the girl on the gate, like, we were like first up. She says, he really loves Star Trek, doesn't he? I said, yeah. He was like, there's this 50-year-old bolting around like a 10-year-old fanboy. And absolutely. And I really enjoyed it too. I really enjoyed it too. And we got photos and he's in the command chair and he's like, yes, and all that. And of course you saw the uniforms right from the first series right up to the latest, which at that stage I think was Voyager was still the latest. So we got to see what's her name? Janeway, the actress who played Janeway.
Oh, I know who you're talking about. Kate Mulgrew or something like that.
Kate Mulgrew, yeah. And stuff. And it was just like he was in it was like when in 2008 we went to Europe after we sold the unit. We took a little bit, most of it went into savings for the house to build the house, but we took a bit and we went to Europe, and we went to Euro Disney, which was a lot of fun. But for me, it was Versailles. I'm like running around Versailles, like, wow, this is so cool.
That would be me at the Star Wars in Florida at the center if I ever had the chance. Millennium Falcon or something. I'd be like, oh my God.
Oh, yeah.
50-year-old here, I would just be like in my glory.
We went to Disney World in Florida back in 1976, which was the bicentennial year. And it was also the first summer that Space Mountain was open. And I remember we stood in line for like 3 hours to ride on Space Mountain. And it was the wildest thing. Oh, I was like, I could have rode that roller coaster all day long after that. It was fun. Because it was in total darkness. You couldn't see.
I can't do roller coasters. No, I cannot do roller coasters. I'm one of those people who, if you go on a too fast ride, it's like city, but also terrified. And last time we went to the show, James taught me going on a ride that just basically it pulled up. And it wasn't that high, probably about 3 stories, I suppose, and it went across and then it dropped down. Very simple with water and all that. And that just terrified the hell out of me. Going up and doing the drop down was like,
as someone who can't get 2 rungs up a ladder without getting vertigo, yeah, I get that.
Oh wow.
I get vertigo
and the Ferris wheel are about as
And I love writing that stuff, and I have a fear of heights like you would not believe. But
Yeah,
it
that's Shan. You know,
I get,
even watching
get
a movie and looking down, he gets vertigo.
yeah.
Watching it, yeah.
Miss Kathleen, thank you for coming on. You
Oh,
sound sick.
yeah,
You just-
happy Channel-versary too, Shari.
that's that's why I thought I would just come on and say I love you, happy anniversary,
Thank you, ma'am. I love you too.
and then I'm going to go bye so that I won't be sneezing your ear off. Okay.
Oh,
I hope you feel better soon,
We'll
Kathleen.
feel better soon.
Mwah.
Mwah. Love you, my dear.
I can hear your stuffy.
I could see her
woke up-
sneezing off camera, and I was like, why is she in the backstage? She's sneezing her brains out. I was like, oh no.
And I'm going to go finish my dinner, so I just wanted to jump on again really quick to say, you know, congratulations again.
Thank you, Heather.
To hang out with you and Scott. And it was nice to meet you, Chrissy.
Oh,
Finally in
lovely to meet you
person.
too, Heather. Yes.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
I will see everybody on the next live.
There we go.
Yep, tomorrow morning, Scott. Bye.
Bye, Heather.
Bye.
Tomorrow morning. That's tonight, my time. What time are you on, Scott?
Right now it's 7:48 p.m.
Let's see, about 13 hours.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's what, 12, 8, 40. Yeah, no, a bit late, unfortunately. Start my new job tomorrow. So I was up at midnight.
Work responsibility.
I was up at about 2 o'clock in the morning, and my nose was getting hot, and then my nose was getting warmer and warmer, and I thought, oh, bugger. Either I've got a head cold or some sort of sneezing attack or worse. So, and then I sneezed, and then my nose started running like crazy, and I grabbed a tissue. And I'm like, oh.
It never fails. When I start a new job, the first day I got to go in, I get sick. And I'm like trying to work sick, and it's like trying, not want to cough on people, and it's I don't know, it's psychosomatic or something, but it just.
I just think it's stress. And anyway, I did a test, a rat test, because I thought, well, yeah, this is just what I'd need. And that was negative and all that. And I'll do another one tonight just to double check. But yeah, it's just, yeah, but I was up at 3 o'clock this morning, and my nose was running and everything like that. So
that's always fun. Yeah.
Well, too, I'm just the sort of person who most of the time I just wear what I'm wearing and don't wear to the weather.
Yeah.
It was really, really cold this winter, so you saw me rugged up. But most winters, I'd still be in a t-shirt or something like that, walk around bare feet. It's just like whatever the weather is, I just wear whatever I see, pick it up, put it on.
Well, we're kind of ending out our summer and rolling into fall here, but
yeah,
it'll still be triple digits for a good month more before we start cooling back down. But
well, I might wear a long sleeve top until the summer here, with 43 degrees and like that. And it's just like, because I don't really, it doesn't, half the time it doesn't hit me. So if I say it's cold, it's bloody cold, because normally it just wouldn't bother me. So
yeah, I mean, it used to be I couldn't stand to be cold, and now it doesn't really, except to make my back and my knees hurt.
Well,
which hurt all the time anyway. That just kind of adds another layer. But
one of the side effects is sometimes I usually end up with a cold at least, because I just don't take notice of. Well, I'll go from hot to cold and all that, and I just don't take notice, or whatever. Or I'll have bare feet on because I hate shoes. Not looking forward to wearing shoes, but I know I have to. Slippers are okay because I can kick them off easily, but even half the time, and it's just because I just don't really notice much about the climate around me, and just wear what I see. Having to think about what I wear, that's like.
I know earlier I was trying to get ready for tonight, and my son was like, okay, from the waist up, you're like all dressed up, you did your hair, you put on your makeup. He says you got cutoffs on. I said, well, nobody's going to see my legs. So
Well, you've seen me some of the times. I'll hop on and it's like, oh my God, did she get dressed in the dark? What's happening with her skin?
that was me when when the lockdown first hit, and my boss just sent a computer home with me and said, you can do what you do from home. So, I mean, at least I didn't lose my job. But yeah, I mean, I would get up in the morning, I'd turn on the computer, and I'd sit in my nightgown for a good 2 hours of the day, drinking my coffee, hair going in 50 directions before I'd ever even go, oh, I guess I should go get dressed, but I've been working the whole time. And it was hard when we went back into the office. It was hard to get back into that habit of getting up at 5 in the morning to get dressed, to get, do all your stuff and get out the door. And it's like, I don't dress up as much as I used. I get up at 5 a.m. every day. Yeah. 5:30.
Yeah, I think I'm going to have to. I've been getting up at 6, and I think I'm going to have to for the last few weeks. Actually, I think I'm going to have to move it forward to 5:30 because I just know me and stuff. And it's just like, but yeah, why do you think I love all those scarves? It's because you can hide such. If your hair is a disaster, the scarf. Sorry, guys. The scarf.
Oh yeah, I know. Scarves and hats and long, just a little sweater that you can throw over your shoulders. It hides a lot when nobody can see you from the waist down.
I love the look anyway, but it's just like, yeah, some morning it's like I had that big black bow on the other day, and it was because this part of my hair would not settle down no matter what I did. So I whacked the bow on and it sat in front of it so nobody could see this bit of hair sticking up.
I had put some wild stuff in my hair because it wouldn't do what I wanted it to do. So,
That's a pretty nice alarm clock Barb has. Her cat wakes her up every day at 5 a.m.
Oh, that'll do it. That'll do it. Yeah.
No, so how have you found the first year, Shari? How have you found people? Have you enjoyed it?
I've loved it, every minute of it. I mean, when I started out, I was so terrified and so afraid that I would say something wrong or that somebody would think, oh, she doesn't know what she's doing because I would read a card wrong or something. It just, all those self-doubts that you have about yourself when you step into something that you don't know anything about, really. And it was really encouraging when everybody just kept saying, oh, you're doing great. Just go with just go with it, and don't worry what the book says. Just say what you think. And so, and it took a while for me to get comfortable doing that because, I mean, I've had these gifts all my life, but I've kind of buried them, every now and again something would come out, but I wouldn't ignore them, and bury them. And so it was difficult pulling them back out of the closet again. It's like trying to haul a 10-ton weight up a hill or something. And, but as I've slowly started doing more and more, I've noticed now things are starting to become clearer on some areas. It's like, when I was a little girl, I heard an audible voice that would talk to me. I thought it was God. I mean, people would say, who are you talking to? And I'd say, I'm talking to God, like no big deal. A deep male voice. Now, I've not heard that voice since I was about 5, but I'm starting to hear other voices now. And I'm starting to literally hear voices like within the last couple of months, which is kind of threw me off the first time that happened. I was like looking around like, who was that? And it took a minute before I realized it was somebody was telling me in my ear, blah, 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 blah. I was like, oh, wow, they're finally talking. Or I'm finally hearing, I don't know which one. I went to a funeral, two weekends ago, last weekend, weekend before last, something like that. And when I pulled into the parking lot, I thought, Now, I've had 3 different fairly strong psychics tell me that I'm a medium. I just don't know it yet. And I'm like, I'm sitting in the parking lot saying, okay, if I'm a medium, I don't want to talk to any dead people today. I'm not ready for that. Don't send me any dead people today. I can't do it. And so I was lucky. None of them showed up. But I've known other people that have that ability that dread going to a funeral because all the dead people are like, oh, she can hear us. Let's go talk to her.
Right.
You know?
They know. Right?
Yeah, and they know who can hear them and who can't. So,
well, I remember a few weeks ago, I saw you were on my thing, and I was on with somebody, and I saw your comment, and I went, "Oh, hi, Shari, how are the voices today?" And I was like, I asked it because I was really interested in it.
Yeah.
I wasn't making fun because from some people might have thought I was making fun, but it's no, because I realized the minute I saw voices from the swamp that resonated with you, and I really wanted to know what the voices were saying because I think sometimes they choose people for a reason,
Yeah.
I don't have voices come through me or anything. If somebody asked me to read on someone, I use the cards. I ask to read on their energy or whatever it is, whether they're alive or dead. But honestly, I think it'd scare me if someone who had passed or started to talk.
Maybe because I heard it as a child. Some of the experiences as I had as a child, it's not as scary per se as much as it is just kind of shocking again, because I had put voices from the swamp when I started my channel because I was like, I got to think of something, and I was like, well, I live in the swamp, so, and we're supposed to be listening to our spirit guides, so I don't want to put spirit guides from the swamp, so I decided I'd just do voices from the swamp. And it's like the minute I picked the name and actually put it out there, I wasn't hearing anything for a long time. I would just know something. I mean, I would say, well, I just heard such and such say, but I didn't hear anything. I would just know it. But in the last couple of months now, I'm starting to hear it. And so it's like, okay, they're starting to speak up. So it's like, as I've slowly started kind of doing my own thing and not just relying on somebody else inviting me on their show, that's when it started happening. So it's like, I feel like they were just waiting for me to get comfortable enough to kind of do this, not just be a guest and pop in and pop out, and and that's fun. Don't get me wrong. I'm available for anybody that wants a guest. Even do a show. I love doing it.
I love to have one. And Scott,
I love collabing with people.
I haven't had the chance to collaborate with you in ages, so I'd love to have you both on myself. But I was just thinking because like your name, Scott, Spiritual Essence. It was like I think that I thought no, really, really something meaningful in that name, and I saw that the minute I saw Shari's name the first time it popped up. I thought that is such an interesting name to choose, and I thought it's because it's so real. And I just, so if I ask what are the voices saying today, I honestly believe that they've got messages to say.
You ask, I'll tell you what they've said if they said anything. So
yeah. So don't worry, I'll ask. Because I'm
that's cool.
As to why some people choose the names they do.
I mean, if they're quiet, I'll tell you now they're sleeping today. But my son's been working on a painting that he's doing of the swamp that we're gonna use as my background logo once he finishes it, if he ever finishes it. He's also working on a piece of music that's just this kind of haunting kind of music. It's very simple, no word. Well, it's part of a song he wrote. There are words to it, but I'm like, if you took the words out and just used the music, that would really fit my channel. So he's like, okay, let me work on that. So I've got those 2 items in the making. So it's like, okay, once I kind of get that, that'll make me feel a little bit more sure-footed, because I've kind of got some of that just basic stuff out of the way. But in the meantime, I just decided, you know what, if I'm going to do this, let's do this. And like last weekend, Dolly was going to come on the Wolf Girl Oracle, and then she got sick. She got COVID. She's like, I'm so sick. I'm like, no, just rest, hydrate, don't bother to come on. I had it. I know how debilitating it can be. And then it was the thought of, now, do I cancel the show, or do I do it by myself, or do I chicken out, email everybody and say, who wants to come on with me? And so I kept thinking about it, and I just kept hearing that, go for it, just do it, just do it. You don't need anybody else, just do it. And so I decided, okay, I'm just gonna jump out and jump in with both feet, see what happens. And it turned out really good, and I was really proud of myself. I was shocked. It went like 2 hours. It was like, what the hell did I talk about for 2 hours?
It can, you just yabba, yabba, yabba. And stuff, and it's just like,
what's wrong with people that they're going to spend 2 hours listening to me jibber jabber? I mean, because I did readings and stuff, but a lot of it was just answering just regular questions from the chat, not like get a reading questions from the chat. So that was a little different. And
can I ask?
And then I had.
When was the? I know you said you've been to see a psychic and all that. For me, my mum used to, use just playing cards or something, and she'd read my cards every year, and I'm like, because every year it'd go, you're getting married this year. No, I mean, I didn't meet James till I was 33. I was single for a long time, but I knew that this was on my mum's side of the family and all that, and I knew that my sister does some weird trick and stuff like that. But I sort of, like you, pushed it aside. And then sort of a few years back, I came to it and realized, this is something I want to explore more. But for me, things really didn't start blooming for me until I realized I was going through a bit of a rough time. And I thought, you know what? I haven't had my cards read properly. I'd never had it done. And I am going on, I am reading cards and all this, and I've never actually surrendered to the process myself properly. I mean, because, I've read them for myself and all that. So I went and I got a reading done. And it was after I'd surrendered that, my faith and my belief, into the hands of another reader, that things started to really blossom with me. Mm-hmm. And I think it was that point of total acceptance.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, when I was 8 years old, I had an event happen, and my mother's response was, "Oh, you got the gift." And that was it. That's all she said. Because every woman evidently in our family has it in some way, shape, or form. And I had things happen to me over the years, and I just kind of, okay, well, I'm a little bit psychic, no big deal. And I just kind of ignored it most of the time. But it was after Mama passed and lockdown hit, and I discovered this wonderful community that it just started happening for me as I got to know people and started interacting with people, finally started chatting with folks, and meeting people like you and like Scott and like Sheila and Angie and Cartomancy Mesquite. She was the one that in a chat one night said, what kind of cards are you reading? And I'm like, I don't have any cards. And she's like, send me your address. And she sent me 2 decks of cards that I still use on a regular basis. because she had the faith that if I send her cards, it's going to go somewhere, you know. Because I got them and I sat there with them on the shelf for like almost 2 months before I even opened them up because I didn't know what to do with them. You know, it was like, what am I supposed to do with this? And, you know, kind of like when I was made a moderator, I'm like, what the hell does that mean? I don't know what that is. And it was just finally stepping out and saying, okay, well, let's see what happens here. And I would start kind of pulling 1 or 2 cards for myself. And as I slowly got comfortable with that, then one day a friend of my son's came over. She saw my tarot cards sitting out. She's like, do you read those? And I said, I'm learning. And she says, would you do a reading for me? I said, yeah, sure. It turned into almost an hour-long reading. It was the first person I'd read for. And by the end of the session, she was practically in tears saying, I can't believe you saw all that. Oh my God. This just, I mean, it was like I nailed every point for her. And that gave me the courage to then go, okay, something's happening here. I'm going to do this. And, you know, and so.
Crazy when you didn't even have a clue how to read.
Yeah. Yeah.
No, everyone learns how to read in different ways. And, you know, and it's like, and you learn from there and then you develop your own technique. And for me, I am very much being a very visual person and all that. I get the research happening, and that's how I my lessons, and the symbolism and the way in which different people who create the cards, the creators of each deck, the symbols they use, and that's why I use so many decks, is that every deck can speak to you in a different way.
Oh yeah.
And
I was saying earlier when you know, I was talking about, you know, when I'm on a show or a guest on someone's show and we're doing readings, I'll have all my decks out. And then when we get the question and I just kind of like wait for whichever deck is going to say, my turn, use me, you know, that's the one I'll pick up and use. And sometimes I'll pick it up and I'll shuffle and I'll put a few cards out. It just doesn't feel right. And so I'll kind of put it back and I'll grab another deck.
Yep.
And then everything will feel right, you know? So it's like, okay, I guess deck A was speaking for deck B because deck B was too shy to speak up, you know?
Yeah, I get that sometimes on the topic.
Yeah.
You know, you'd ask a question or whatever, whether it's mysterious or whatever, and then it's like I kind of sense like, oh, I need that deck.
Yeah.
Like there's gonna be a symbol or something that's gonna come out that I need that deck for.
Yeah.
You know, you just kind of have that sense. I'm like, oh, that one don't feel right. Yeah.
Yep.
Okay.
You'll be laying out some cards, and it's like, this is just a jumble.
Yeah.
So it's like it's not getting the message through. So then you go and grab a deck for clarity.
Yeah, I'm not getting anything off of it. The first time I was on someone's show as a reader and I shuffled, and I only had a couple of decks at that point, so I didn't have a lot to choose from. And I shuffled and I laid my cards out and I'm thinking of the question and listening to what other people are saying. And I'm like, this just doesn't make any sense to me. And then the other readers started, you know, giving their reading. And as each one spoke, it was like I would see one card literally light up and say, that goes with what she said.
Yeah.
This one goes with what he said. You know, and it was like, okay, I pulled clarifiers for everybody and didn't realize it. That's why it didn't make any sense to me. Looking at it in front of me, I was like, this doesn't make sense. None of these go to what was being asked. It's like none of them go together. And it wasn't until the other readers started reading that I was like, okay, well, this clarifies that. This clarifies that. I was like, okay, that's kind of weird. I never didn't know that could happen, you know, but it was at the same time, it was encouraging. I just did a show with Jeffrey Ripe Color where we did a show where we just discussed the hangman. And it was eye-opening, because just talking about how we read it, what we learned about it, and I mean, I was learning things left and right. At one point he was like, sometimes I look, are all the cards the same color? Do they all show water? Do they all show birds flying to there? And I'm like, light bulb. I was like, I never thought to look at that. It just never occurred to me that that might tie these cards together. They all have a bird in it, or they all have trees in it, or they're all the same color, or, and it's like, once that light bulb went off, because I've been trying to teach myself how to read spreads. All of a sudden now I can look at three to five cards on a spread and go, oh, okay, this one goes with this one goes with, and Sheila Celtic Tarot has started doing a thing with like 6 or 8 cards, and she'll take a picture and put it on her community page and then say, what does this say to you? For people to respond back. And when she did it first, I was like, that's not for me, and I can't do that. And then one day I'm sitting there and I'm just looking at the picture, and they started talking to me like, yeah, okay, yeah, this goes here, and this, because the question was this, so this makes sense why it's next to this card, that means that, it was like suddenly again the light bulb's going off. And so I responded in the comments, well, I think it's saying blankety blankety blank. And I got a response like a couple of days later saying, oh, you got it. That's exactly what it was saying. So, I mean, that really gave me a lot of encouragement. And, I'm sure Sheila didn't even know who the hell I was at that point, because this was quite a while back. I didn't even get to meet her in person, so to speak, until we did Pictionary together a month and a half ago or so. And
because it's just at the wrong time for me, and it's like,
yeah. And I had a ball. She, Sun Psychic Jean, and I were on a team together, and we had a blast, and we won that night, which surprises me because I never win games like that.
What is Pictionary? What is it? What's
Pictionary is like?
Well, I know what the game is.
Yeah.
So you still do the drawings and everything.
Oh yeah, it's like we use paper or a whiteboard or whatever. So whoever's turn it is to do the picture, Renee has a thingy, an app on her phone that would give her a word, and she'll give that person the word that's supposed to be drawing. She'll text it to us, and then we have to start drawing it. And then our team members that are on screen watching, they have so much time to figure out what you're drawing,
Okay.
And
it was fun.
It's a lot more fun than it sounds like.
Games like that. But
And
hubby,
we had a ball. I mean, the three of us had a blast. We were winging it that night, man. We were getting them all. So
yeah, it's just like hubby. We used to play some games together, like Trivial Pursuit and chess and all that, and Scrabble. But that's falling away. But hubby, when we played Trivial Pursuit, he would only answer the green questions, the science and nature.
Because I was never a board game player.
It doesn't matter what color he landed on. He'd insist that I'd ask the green question, because he reckons that's the only one. And his quote was, "I'm not like you that's got a mind full of facts from all over the place and never forgets anything. I do forget things, but he reckons the green ones are the only one who has the remotest chance of answering."
That's it.
Yeah, so it's just I love playing all those games, but yeah, it's just I'd love to be able to. I'd love to do a Pictionary with you guys once at one stage.
Well, we'll have to get with Renee and see if we can't work it out on a time when it's more convenient for you, and get you on a team.
Friday.
I was looking at the clock, and we've been here for over 2 hours now, which blows me away. And I still have people in the chat. It's like, wow, there's still people here, and it's been over 2 hours.
And hello, everyone who said hello to me. I have seen you guys. I have seen everyone who said hello and all that. And Sharon's like, thank you for posting up my site and stuff. Running away.
Sharon's really good with posting everybody's site. And like I've been saying all night, all these lovely people you've seen come up with me tonight,
Yeah.
Go to their page, like, subscribe, share, leave a comment, all that stuff, because that helps the algorithm, which I don't understand how that crap works. But anyway, it
I wanted,
boosts.
I wanted to say something and reaffirm what Chrissy was saying earlier. You're talking about surrendering.
Mm.
You know,
Yeah.
when you're talking about the cards and you surrender to, okay, hit me, do it.
Yeah.
And then Shari, you're talking about you opening up whatever. You surrendered. You
Yeah.
give it to the,
Yes. You put your
it's
faith
kind
in
of,
it.
you put your faith in everything. You're like, okay, show me, or
Yeah.
give it to me,
Yeah.
and that kind of thing. And then there it comes. When you release that anxiety and worry, is like, okay, hit me, show me. I surrender. I give it to the universe, and that's when you open up.
Yeah.
Release it. You've heard Linda G's story, right? About the
Yeah.
the breast cancer and everything.
Yeah.
She's like,
people.
okay,
I just thank God I didn't.
I surrender, and a miracle happens.
Yeah.
Right? It's the same thing. Just
Yeah.
surrender.
Yeah.
So I've seen some miraculous things happen over the years, with other people that just, when you step back and think about it, it's like, wow, that was. I mean, I watched a Cajun traiteur, which is kind of like a medicine man or a witch doctor. When my son was 5, 6, suddenly sprung up with a bad earache, fever, the whole bit. We're trying to get him, rushing around trying to go to get him to the hospital. And my neighbor comes and knocks. And I didn't even know that she was a traiteur. That's like a medicine man. And she came in saying, well, can I borrow an egg or whatever? And I'm like, yeah, whatever, help yourself. We got to go to the hospital. And she's like, oh, and why is that? And it's, Lewis is sick. And she said, well, can I pray for him? And I'm like, yeah, knock yourself out. My husband and I both were like, yeah, whatever, we got things to do to get ready to go. And she sat on the sofa and he laid down in her lap and she rubbed her hands together. And then she put them on the side of his head where the ear hurt. And she started chanting in tongues. It wasn't French. It wasn't any language I'd ever heard, in tongues. And she just sat and rubbed his ear and did this like sing-song thing for, I don't know, 2-3 minutes. And then she stopped and she got up and she said, he'll be fine. She got her egg and she left. Before we could turn around and finish getting ready to go to the hospital, he was bouncing off the walls. He was perfectly fine. No fever, no earache, no nothing. She healed him that quick. My husband and I both looked at each other saying, did we just see what we think we just saw? I mean, it shook us both to our core because it was just so unexpected. It's just one of those things. And I've seen other things happen to people. So I've always known somewhere in the back of my mind that, yeah, this is all real. I just didn't want to get into it. And I think that's what Scott was saying is you got to get to that point where you're willing to give in to it and say, okay, I know you're there. Now show me what it is you want me to do.
Yeah.
Accept.
Yeah. With that thing with your son, it's like this multiplication of something very, very, very basic. Because you were talking about earache. I unfortunately, when I was a child, I suffered from horrendous earaches. I still do. I mean, a few months ago when I was out for a couple of weeks in June, it was because of an earache. But I can remember many times when Mum would take me into the hospital just to see the doctor because I'd had 3 perforated eardrums by the time I was 18 and I'd lost hearing from it and stuff. But I would still be in a tremendous amount of pain, but Mum would get me to stretch out and put my head on her lap and with the sore ear facing up, and she'd put her hand over my ear. And of course it wouldn't fix it all, but it would comfort me and make me feel better. And she'd stroke my hair and sometimes hum. And it's like just the energy would help me. And I just think that people who can do what that lady did for your son, it's taking this energy that we all have within ourselves, especially mothers,
Oh yeah.
multiplied and multiplied and multiplied through whatever, through years of discipline, whatever. And they can really use it in a way. And yeah, I mean, my mum couldn't just cure my earaches, but that certainly made it possible for me not to go mad.
Yeah.
And yeah, and it certainly kept me um yeah, from just I don't think I could have gotten through it without my mum and the way she used to just sit there with my head on her lap and stroke my hair and hold her, that warmth and all that. And it just so that
I mean,
and that love too for another being, whether you're
oh,
related
and,
to
yeah. I mean, my son is 38 years old, and when he gets sick, I'm the first person he's asking for. I want my mommy, and all it takes is just a little bit of time, usually to kind of relax him out, and he's good. But yeah, I mean, I was up until my mom passed. I mean, even when the dementia had taken her to the point that we were all strangers to her, and that wasn't the person that we knew. There were still those moments when, just she knew we were important. She just didn't know why, or she couldn't remember why, but she would still just want those hugs and just, holding her hand or just, letting her lean her head on your shoulder or something. It just, I'm lucky we managed to get a couple of snapshots taken in some of those moments. But yeah, I mean, I have that. My mother's literally like 25 feet away from me, because we had her cremated, and I got two urns, one for me, one for my brother, and we split her ashes in half. And we've got her sitting on the top shelf with pictures and stuff, kind of like a little shrine right there in the living room, 25 feet away from me. So,
here's my
she's
totally
still there ruling the roost and calling the shots. I mean, because I definitely feel her and hear her sometimes, just when just kind of in my face. So yeah.
well, I'm 55 years old, and sometimes when I'm just not being feeling well or being feeling low and everything, sometimes I think I'm going to call my mum, because sometimes my mum's voice on the phone makes me feel better.
Oh yeah,
And it's like, yeah.
Yeah.
And I got a very outrageous thought before when you said you split your mum's ashes in half between you and your brother, and I'm sorry, please don't get it. But I felt like asking, did you get the left half or the right half?
Who knows? You're given a bag inside a jar like thing that they give them to you in, and so my brother was like, well, I had bought to her, and she's like, well, I guess we'll just get a Ziploc for each one. Just split her in half and put one in each box. It's unfortunately the boxes were designed so that you can seal them after you put the ashes in, so it's not like they can be opened up and messed with. But I mean, when we did it, I was like, well, I wonder if I'm getting the top half or the bottom half. It doesn't really matter. I mean,
that was the other thing I was going to say. At least I didn't ask if you got the top or the bottom.
Who knows? I like to think maybe we got a little bit of everything.
People might go, oh, how can you say something like that? And it's like,
no, see,
well, I don't know, possibly the
I have a very morbid I have a very, very morbid sense of humor. You can ask my family. I will laugh and crack jokes at some of the most inappropriate stuff because I just find it hilarious. Or I think of some stupid ass thing to say about it and find it hilarious. And most people are like, how do you think that's funny? I'm like, how can you not? I mean, how can you not find it funny? I mean, it's just one of those things. But
when
Yeah.
my dad passed, a friend of ours came to his funeral, and she had her little boy with her who dad had known, and everything as well. And he called him his little mate and stuff. And so my friend had told her what was going to happen with the ceremony, and then the curtains were going to close and things like that. And one of our fondest memories is, and we'll still say it like my sisters and I, all we have to say is, yep, there goes the curtains. And we just laugh because what was happening is that we went through the ceremony and everything, and there were a couple of funny things that happened. And one was when they were playing some music, and my older sister leaned over and she says, you know, Dad'd be probably lying there going, who the hell ordered this bloody rubbish to be played? We were like, this is like we're sitting in the front row. And even Mum and my sister and myself, my brother unfortunately couldn't make, we were like, yep, that's so true, so true. And then we go through, and then as the curtains close, this little voice comes from the back. Yep, there goes the curtains. It's just like, for some reason, it just cracked us up. And our friend came up and she says, I'm so embarrassed. And it's like, don't worry about it. My dad would
Yeah.
have loved
What
it.
better time than a funeral to laugh, to bring out the good thoughts, you know? I mean, I'd much rather laugh than cry. So
Yeah, yeah. And it's like, so it might seem something, but it gave us a couple, those little bits of laughter gave us something that treasured to carry with us from a sad day, you know?
yeah.
And
Well, I'm finally at the point now where memories of my mom make me smile and not make me frown or not be painful, you know? So I'm thankful for that. And most of the people in this community are the ones that helped me kind of get through that, because it was right after she passed that I kind of stumbled into this.
Cool.
And so there are a lot of people from chatters in the chat to the readers to, you know, that just from readings, little mini reads I would get off of people in the chat, you know, when I would, you know, put in, you know, can I get a card or this or that? It's looks like my cat.
What are you doing, Kitty?
Right now I'm trying to balance.
the
She's
chair. Oh, no,
moving.
the chair. We have very heavy fabric on our lounges, and she's been trying for years to subdue the lounges. And there's just a tiny little fluff and a couple of strings on the lounges. So anything leather, she knows she can get to. They do it. I'm like, well, you know. Like,
Yeah, I mean, we have a kitten now. I've given up. It's like, okay, whatever, you know. Cats are going to be cats. They're going to do what they do.
Yeah.
Dogs are going to be dogs. They're going to do what they do. So we have a menagerie in the house, and they crack me up some days. I'm going to wrap this
I have
up.
to have some breakfast. So I have to go. So I have to have some breakfast before I get on with the rest of the day.
Yes.
Congratulations.
We've been
to wrap
2.5
up.
hours.
It's been lovely talking
Scott
to you.
has-
I honestly do want to get you guys to come and join me.
Most definitely. Yeah.
And yeah, because I'm cutting back on the weeknight, on the weekday lives. I'll probably on the odd weekend maybe do a said day one or something like that too.
Yeah.
But,
See, I'm pretty restricted to weekends myself because I work all week. So
yeah,
we're gonna get together.
So
I got your email now, baby.
Yeah, so I've had such a ball talking to you guys.
Thank
this
you so
morning
much for coming. I
about
really
some experiences too, and honestly, it is fascinating to hear how people get a start and hear the stories and stuff like that. And I don't know if I've heard the story, Scott, but I'd love to hear it at some time. So anyway, I do have to go, my darlings. So
And it's time for us to wrap up. It's been 2.5 hours.
Yeah.
And I still got people in the chat. It's like, wow, y'all still
Okay.
there.
Okay then. Well, please take care, and I will hopefully
I
You
will.
too, Betsy.
join you in
Love
the next
you.
few weeks.
Love you,
Okay.
Chrissy. Thank you so much.
Bye bye.
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 Yep. I was just saying too. I was going to try to bug out. I'm getting tired.
Yeah, I am too. I'm sitting here and I'm starting to droop.
I had a deep reading this morning. It's catching up to me now.
Oh, there you go.
The energy.
I want to just tell everybody thank you for coming. A special thank you to all the readers, all the guests that came on. Like I said, I was just floored. Wow, I didn't expect all the people to respond that responded, and there were quite a few that were maybes because they already had other plans, and I understood that. It's like, don't worry about it. There's always next year. So, Scott, next year we'll do it again, So, thank you very much for coming on and hanging with me so long, and just being a friend, just hanging out. Whether if it's yakking on the phone for 2 hours or sitting in a chat for 2 hours, it's just nice now. Time to go. Say goodnight to everyone. Thank you very much. And y'all have a great night.
Great night. Love to all. Blessings.
Love you, everybody. Mwah. Bye.